Not yet. Hopefully we get some more people.
Tasty's
We've
Trading
already
Company.
found
No
Grab
one, right?
empathy. Empathy's right in front of us.
Oh, yeah, empathy's in the group.
Oh, it's because he's sitting down.
Spicy potatoes,
Well, no,
small
there's
blue
another one
rose.
right
Anyone up for
in front
Death
of
Dice?
us. No empathy TTV. There's two
Oh, there's
different no
another empathy.
empathies.
Oh, shit. Yep. Huh. Where's the two?
Tasty's Trading Company. I Farm. Hours of characters editing. How can I? Tasty's Trading
All
Company.
right, we got
No
a couple
empathy.
no
What?
empathies.
Spicy potatoes. Ertril 96. Don't have enough gold. Ill pass.
Meds is on his way.
Tasty's Trading Company. Jesus Christ 414. Who Death Dice? Emma have to come to one of these days. Spicy potatoes. Ertril 96. Plus bad experience last time.
Tell Breezes Christ to
Tasty's
come to
Trading
this one.
Company. Jesus Christ 414. If my FF14 luck comes with me. Emma be rich. Tongue sticking out. Tasty's Trading Company. No empathy TTV. Farm said it's free to try. Spicy potatoes, small blue rose, first round free. Tasty's Trading
How's
Company.
everyone doing tonight?
I Farm. We are at 6. Anyone else for
Good,
Death
how are
Dice?
you?
First rounds on Farm.
Good.
Tasty's Trading Company. No empathy. Your luck is God tier. Spicy potatoes, Ertril 96. Sure then. Can't promise stay after though. Tasty's Trading Company. Jesus Christ 414. Sat waiting for amount one day. Made 35 M Gil LMFAO. Was a nice payday. Group, Illicitans, I got 2 rounds in me. Group, Illicitans, or
Everybody
bust.
knows the rules, right? I've seen
I
all of you in here
do.
before. Yeah, I've seen you Friday night.
Well, we say it's just 6 of us. Listened a few times.
Okay.
As I said, first round's on me.
All right.
If you give me lead, I have one more person.
Tasty's
Hey, you got
Trading
one more?
Company, Ertril
Yeah.
96.
All right,
Invite
sweet.
for DD.
Oh, you can
That's
just
good.
invite them. Urtril, Ruby.
I'll give you the other 100K.
You got it.
There you go.
All right. And who should I invite?
Urtril 90,
Just person.
Ruby.
Ruby?
Yeah, Urtril 96.
Tasty's Trading Company, Jesus Christ 414. Do you roll down to 1 or whatever with 2 people? Tasty's Trading Company, just underscore 2
Are they in the
underscore
guild?
play. I've never seen near 35 mil LOL, probably never will.
Yeah, they're just posted in the guild.
Tasty's Trading Company, I Farm. It starts 5,000, whoever hits one is out. Tasty's Trading Company, Jesus Christ 414, that was in FF. I'm sitting on a humble 300k here. Simply because of EMP, LOL. Tasty's Trading Company, I Farm.
Okay.
Repeat till
You
DD
invite
has a winner.
her, please.
I'm giving Rose the lead because I can't.
Tasty's Trading
I
Company,
can't.
no
I don't see him.
empathy,
Ertro
EMPS.
96. They posted in guild chat.
Ah, I didn't see
Tasty's
that.
Trading
Okay.
Company, no empathy, wink with tongue
I thought it
sticking
was
out.
Ruby. Okay.
Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, I admit to nothing.
These beings have displayed a speed and strength.
Anybody want music, or you're good?
Hey man, if you want to.
What kind of music do I farm?
Oh, dude, I like anything.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses.
Group, Elistons, 6-9.
All right, let's do it.
Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, you joining Joe? Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, let's go breezes.
I got a Guns N' Roses mix.
See if D is down for a few rounds. We'll see here in a second. Just asked him.
Okay.
Tasty's Trading Company,
Tasty said he's
Breezes Christ
broke. Get out of
414,
this.
not him a go to bed. I'll death roll another day when I have some dollar to back up trying to win my losses back, lol. Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, ah. Small Blue Rose rolls 38 out of 1 to 100. No empathy TTV rolls 61 out of 1 to 100. Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy, okay, good night and catch you soon.
Because he did his trader bids, that's why he's low on gold.
Yeah,
Traders are expensive.
yeah. Flatwood is
Virtual
I
96 rolls
25
48 out
million.
of 1 to 100.
I might even know about
Elicitans
Sean.
rolls 65 out of 1 to 100. Tasty's Trading Company, Breezes Christ 414, wife lady wanted to argue tonight so burned up all my stamina. Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, so wait we gotta make it out of 5,000?
Why didn't mine
How do we
say
do that?
sided die?
No
What
empathy
the
rolls 61 out of 1 to 100. Tasty's Trading Company, Breezes Christ
How's that
414, you. I farm rolls 10 with 1x 100 sided die. Tasty's Trading Company, Breezes Christ 414, you do roll, and if I'm not mistaken, closest to 1 is out. And you play down to the final 2. Could be wrong. But that's my guess. Group, Small Blue Rose, / roll 5,000 without. Small Blue Rose rolls 1282 out of 1 to 5,000. No empathy rolls 3,036 out of 1 to 5,000. I farm rolls 1262 out of 1 to 1,280.
Okay, I see 2 months come.
No empathy TTV rolls 3,705 out of 1 to 5,000.
Yeah.
Tasty's Trading Company, Isaway _ Toom Cirilla, X Death Dice. Group, I farm,
Rose has
etc.
the lead.
Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, okay I see. Tasty's Trading Company, Ertrol 96, what's the order? Tasty's Trading Company, Breezes Christ 414, FF
We haven't rolled to see the order yet.
lowest number was out. When you got to the final 2, you rolled until someone hit 0. But you could
No, not
control
yet.
the dice.
It wasn't on everybody.
Not sure if you can do that here.
Yeah, Icy's still on his what? Here's the
Tasty's
100K for
Trading
Icy.
Company, Ertrol 96, need to know who I'm rolling after. Tasty's Trading Company, Ertrol 96, okay.
Thanks, Daddy.
Group, Small Blue Rose, highest random number to lowest. Tasty's Trading Company, Tasty Jealous God, y'all flooding chat with Death Talk. Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy, am now confused lol.
Tasty's
Tasty's Trading
posted
Company,
the rules.
Tasty Jealous
That's
God,
so nice of
here's
him.
the rules for Death Dice. Tasty's Trading Company, Tasty Jealous God, Death Dice, Elimination, first person type / roll 5,000. A second roll would be whatever number was rolled first, third same with 2 indies roll. So forth and so on. When a 1 is rolled, that person is eliminated and the next person restarts from 50-100. Group, ICY_Tomb Cirilla, did you guys start yet?
We're about to start. The first round is on me,
Tasty's
just to let you
Trading
know.
Company,
So you don't have to pay anything on the first round.
Are
I
there
paid
any
for
pro
everybody.
pocketer thieves here? I got a question. Tasty's Trading Company, I farm, Ty D.
/G, so we're not using guild
Group,
chat.
Agent Navajo, no. Tasty's Trading Company, Tasty Jealous God, NP.
Are we ready to roll?
Farm probably got enough to fucking fund this whole fucking game. The rest of the night, honestly.
Okay, cool, Ty.
I probably could. I just hit 7 billion, so I could probably fund the whole thing.
Tasty's
Over and
Trading
over.
Company,
Billion?
Jesus Christ 414.
Yeah.
So literally like I
Holy
thought,
fuck.
very nice.
That's why when you asked me for help earlier, I was like, dude, I'll just buy the
96,
package.
yes.
I wouldn't even care.
Tasty's Trading
How
Company,
the hell did you
Tasty
get to
Jealous
7
God.
Yes, with a
billion?
B.
Casino game
I
Billion.
sell, or I farm a lot of paintings and mirrors and stuff that's worth millions.
Group, no empathy TTV.
That you can just
Okay,
go
I
and
get it
get these
now.
super rare items and just plop it on somebody that wants it, and boom, right there's millions in your pocket.
Group, Virtual 96.
I had a buyer for a Poly P mushroom at 141 million, and I sold that earlier.
FYI, these rules
And then Tasty has a few more
No
people.
fucking way. You got the mushroom and you didn't say shit?
Group, Virtual 96.
I didn't have to. I already had a buyer
I
for
need
it.
to farm stuff like that.
Yeah, but you could have said you got it.
I didn't even think about it. I just went to the guy that was buying it, sold it to him. Man was happy. I was happy. Then I sold, during the first auction that I went to today, I sold 5 more paintings of all the triptychs.
Gonna watch
That was another handful of million in my pocket during the auction.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Group, Virtual 96. Blue maybe ask farm to get you something.
Which is why at auctions you always see me just randomly blowing money on stuff. That's just what I do.
Tasty's Trading Company, Jesus Christ 414, Tasty.
I don't think I'll ever get to 7 billion, but I guess painting is the key, huh? Painting?
Anything is
Tasty's
the
Trading
key.
Company, no empathy.
I'm gonna hit my random
The lady
roll.
stuffs is okay.
Okay, let's rock. Yep. Everybody, let's roll up.
71 out of 1 to 100. Tasty's Trading Company, Steely Dave 20, later breezes. Illicitans rolls 85 out of 1 to 100. Small Blue Rose rolls 87 out of 1 to 100. Agent Navajo rolls 45 out of 1 to 100. ICY_Tomb Cirilla rolls 52 out of 1 to 100. Tasty's Trading Company, Jesus Christ 414. If it's not, I'm coming to DC.
And Ned?
Just a heads up, winky face. Virtual 96 rolls 36 out of 1 to 100. No empathy TTV rolls 25 out of 1 to 100. No empathy rolls 40 out of 1 to 100.
And Icy?
Tasty's Trading Company, Jesus Christ 414. Y'all better have room on a couch, tongue sticking out.
Me?
Group, no empathy TTV. Confused what we rollin' for LOL.
And then,
Group,
no
ICY_Tomb Cirilla, rolling for order.
And then
Group, I farm,
intro?
sets up position. Group, no empathy TTV. Oh great, so in last XD.
And then Empathy TV.
Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy. Hey, I got 4 empty rooms. You're always welcome. Group, Virtual 96. Rather than verbally, can we get order posted in chat?
Alright, let me type in
No
the
empathy
order.
TTV. Should we sit in that order? Group, I farm, Agenty will type it out and we begin. Group, ICY_Tomb Cirilla, order does mean too much. Tasty's Trading Company, Jesus Christ 414, say less XD. Group, no empathy TTV, so it's easy to Ono like clockwise. Group, Ertril 96, ERTRIL, not in trill.
So there's no EMP and
Group,
MTV. Okay, guys?
Cirilla, doesn't asterisk. Group,
It's
ICY
Ertril.
underscore Tomb
Just let you
Cirilla,
know.
like being first or last because it could come back around.
It's Ertril.
Group,
Ertril?
Agent Navajo, Rose Med
Oh,
Agent
Ertril.
preemptive.
What did I type?
That
Oh, I
person
typed
is
something
busy.
backwards. My bad. My bad.
Ertril 96, as I said. Group, Ertril 96, ERTRIL.
Okay, so,
Group, Ertril 96,
Go for it, Rose.
not in trill.
Third.
Small Blue Rose rolls
Now it's meds.
2,128 out of 1 to 5,000.
Farm.
Elicitans rolls
Damn.
108 out of 1 to
That's a dip.
2,128. I Farm rolls 70 out of 1 to 108.
Myself.
ICY underscore Tomb Cirilla rolls
Uh-oh.
58 out of 1 to
No
70.
amp.
Agent Navajo rolls 13 out of 1 to 58.
Intro.
No Empathy rolls 12 out of 1 to 13.
Outro. And
No Empathy
MTV.
TTV rolls 12 out of 1 to 12. Ertril 96 rolls 2 out of 1 to 12. No Empathy TTV
Okay,
rolls
back
2
to the
out of
top.
1 to 2.
Rose.
Small Blue Rose rolls
Meds.
2 out of 1 to 2. Elicitans rolls 2 out
Farm.
of 1 to 2. I Farm rolls 1 out of 1 to 2.
Okay, farm is down. Let me update the.
I think the rolls were a bit out of whack that round.
It's all good. As I said, I was
Alright.
paying for this
Agent
one.
Navajo,
That'll work.
Rose Meds Icy Agent No
I
Empathy
see.
preemptive. ICY underscore Tomb Cirilla rolls 3,038 out of 1 to 5,000. Agent Navajo rolls 3,019
No amp.
out of 1 to 3,038.
Remember, it's an R, not an N.
Yeah. Outro.
Group, Ertril 96, you did it again.
No. I never change it. I never change it.
Group, Ertril 96,
I never change it, Outro.
ERTRIL.
I'll fix it for you. I'll fix it, Outro. I got you now. I got
I
you.
know what you're saying to yourself. What in the world is this mean?
I'll fix it on the next round, okay?
No Empathy rolls 1425 out of 1 to 3,019.
Outro.
Ertril 96 rolls 228 out of 1
MTV.
to 1,425. No Empathy
Rose.
TTV rolls 221 out of 1 to 228. Small Blue Rose rolls 126
Icy.
out of 1 to 221. Elicitans rolls 12
On
out
me.
of 1 to 126. ICY underscore Tomb rolls 10 out of
no
1
amp.
to 12. Agent
Outro.
Navajo rolls 6 out of 1 to 10. No Empathy rolls 6 out of 1 to 6.
Oh, wait a minute, MTV.
No Empathy TTV
MPV,
rolls
you're
3 out
after
of 1 to
Ertril.
6. Ertril
So now
96
roll,
rolls 6 out of 1 to 6.
Out of 6.
No Empathy TTV rolls
Rose.
2 out of 1 to 6. Small
Meds.
Blue Rose rolls 2 out of 1 to 2.
Icy.
Elicitans rolls 2 out of 1 to 2.
Myself.
ICY
man.
underscore Tomb Cirilla rolls 2 out of 1 to 2. Agent
And I'm
Navajo
out.
rolls 1 out of 1 to 2.
Alright, let me fix this up now.
Remember to spell Ertril.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix
Group,
that.
Ertril
So.
96, so many 2s XD.
Yeah, that was a lot of 2s. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Group, no Empathy TTV. Sorry, keep thinking him after Onyant XD. Group, no empathy TTV. I am after in Trill.
Careful, he won't be happy.
Group, Virtual 96, BRTRIL.
Alright, everybody's picking on Ertrill and myself now for fucking up.
Group,
Okay, I fixed it.
Rose Meds I see no Impertral Emp.
Okay, so I was out last, so it's no Emp.
Group, Virtual 96, it's a good test to see who's blind. Group, Virtual 96, people can't tell between AR and AN.
Alright, Ertrill, let's be nice.
Group, no empathy, Taz. Group, no empathy, winky face.
No Emp, you roll.
Group, I farm, snaps finger get it GRRRLLLL. Group, Ertrol 96, XD.
No, it starts to the next person.
Group, no empathy TTV, doesn't it start at top again?
At least that's the way C4 was
Group,
doing it the
no
other
empathy,
night.
LOL. Group, I farm, no emp. Group, no empathy, ooh. No empathy rolls 3,464 out of 1 to 5,000. Group, no empathy, my B.
MTV?
Ertrol 96
No
rolls
problem,
1926 out of 1 to 3,464.
Meds?
No empathy TTV rolls 30 out of 1 to 1926.
Oh, I see
Small
Tomb
Blue Rose rolls
Cirilla.
14 out of 1 to 30.
No dice.
He's getting cut down pretty quick.
Illicitans rolls 2 out of 1 to 14. ICY underscore Tomb Cirilla rolls 1 out of 1 to 2. Group, no empathy, with these twos.
Gotta make sure that you guys are also rolling the correct numbers.
Group, no empathy TTV. Now she waits till order is announced right.
Okay, so
Agent
IC was
Navajo.
out last,
Meds
so
no
now
Emp,
it's
Ertrol Emp.
no Emp.
No empathy rolls 2,783 out of 1 to 5,000. Virtual
MTV?
96 rolls 2040 out of 1 to 2,783. No
Rose?
empathy TTV rolls 1638 out of 1 to 2040. Small Blue
Meds?
Rose rolls 954 out of 1 to 1,638.
No Emp?
Illicitans rolls 709 out of 1 to 954. No empathy rolls 297 out of 1 to 709.
MTV?
Ertrol 96 rolls 224 out of 1 to 297. No empathy TTV rolls 155 out
Meds?
of 1 to 224.
No Emp?
Small Blue Rose rolls 10 out of 1 to 155. Illicitans rolls 6 out of 1 to 10.
Ertrill?
No empathy rolls 3 out
Ertrill's
of 1
gone.
to 6.
No dice.
Ertrol 96
Let me write
rolls
the new
1 out
list
of 1
here.
to 3. Group, Ertrol
Rose.
96, damn.
Meds?
Group, Small Blue Rose, GGS.
No Emp. MTV.
Group, Agent Navajo.
Alright,
Rose
so
Meds-
Ertrill, so now it's MTV.
Group, I Farm, was rooting for you.
Rose?
Group, Ertrol 96, BRB getting a drink. No empathy TTV rolls 4,776 out of 1 to 5,000. Small Blue
No
Rose
Emp.
rolls 1866 out of 1 to 4,776. Ulysses
MTV.
rolls 1268 out of 1 to
Uh-oh.
1866.
Rose.
No empathy rolls 45 out of 1 to
Meds.
1268. No empathy TTV rolls 14 out of
No
1 to
M.
45. Small blue rose rolls
MTV.
7 out of 1 to 14.
Rose.
Illicitans rolls 5 out of 1 to
Meds.
7.
Oh, Meds is
No
out.
empathy
Son
rolls
of a
5 out of 1 to
bitch.
5. No empathy
Okay,
TTV rolls 3 out
list.
of 1 to 5.
Rose.
Small blue rose rolls 3 out of 1 to 3.
No M.
Illicitans rolls 1 out of 1 to 3.
MTV.
Group Agent
So,
Navajo, Rose no EMP.
Next one is no M.
It's rigged.
No empathy rolls.
It's rigged. Both empathies are here. It's rigged. I knew you guys were rigging
No
it.
empathy TTV rolls 293 out of 1 to 310. Small blue
No,
rose
M.
rolls 50 out of
Straight
1
to
to
business this
293.
round.
No empathy rolls 29 out
MTV.
of 1 to 50. No empathy TTV
Oh,
rolls
Rose
22
knocks it
out
down.
of 1 to 29.
M. No M.
Small blue rose rolls 6 out of 1 to 22. No empathy rolls 6 out of 1 to
MTV.
6.
Okay.
No empathy
Oh,
TTV rolls
Rose.
2 out of 1 to 6.
Oh, Rose hangs in there.
Small blue
No
rose
M.
rolls 2 out of 1 to 2. No
Oh,
empathy rolls 2 out of
MTV.
1 to 2.
Oh, Rose. Oh, smack. No M.
Small blue rose rolls 2
Oh, no,
Okay.
No empathy rolls
all right,
1
so
out of
we're
1
going to
to
be
2.
taking side bets here, right?
No empathy.
Rose
Sure.
versus MTV. So it's down to Rose versus MTV. Anybody want to bet on some side bets? 50 on M?
Group, you listen.
I'll take,
50 on EMP.
I'll take 50 on Rose.
No empathy.
Wait a minute,
TTV
wait a
rolls
minute.
2,800
Anybody
out of 1
else?
to 5,000. Group, I
20
farm.
temps
20
on
temps
Rose.
on Rose.
How do we match that? 20 temps? I'm taking 50 on Rose. Anybody want MTV against 20 temps?
Group, ICY underscore Tomb Cirilla. No EMP, you can start like that right away at end until side better done. Group, Illicitans, 1 second. Group, no empathy TTV.
Just a second, MTV.
Okay, so wait till told to start.
Oh!
ICY underscore Tomb Cirilla.
Anyone want to
500
cover that?
on Rose. Group, no empathy TTV.
I guess,
Group Atril 96
I'll
im
flip.
Back.
I'll flip and take on,
Group,
okay,
Urtrol
I'll
96.
retract.
What did I miss? Group, Illicitans, I can do 20 wax
I'll
against
retract and I'll go against Icy Tomb and I'll take
Agent
MTV.
Navajo, retract. Group, I farm, I'll do wax. Group, Agent Navajo, 500 empty.
Okay. Alright, we all ready?
Storm underscore Hawk 908, WTB crowns.
Alright, so it's, who went out last? Shoot. Oh, no Amp went out last.
ICY underscore Tomb Cirilla.
Basically, Icy versus Agent. Right. So it's MTV rolls first.
Group, I farm, let's go Rose. Group, no empathy TTV, let's go Agent.
Come on,
we got this.
MTV. Roll dice for me, baby.
Group,
Let's do this.
I farm.
Your first no. Now you can roll. Now you get to roll. Yeah, baby. I love you.
MTV.
Group,
Yeah.
No Empathy TTV.
Yeah, that's on you.
Start. LOL.
Roll high, baby.
Group, I farm.
Yeah, MTV, are you? Fucking with me?
Virtual 96. Anyone
Let's
started
go.
a slash roll
Rock and
5,000
roll.
and immediately rolled a 1? No Empathy TTV rolls 568 out of 1 to 5,000. Group, I farm. Join group voice chat.
The rolls is 484. Come on, MTV. Come on, baby. High rolls.
Small Blue Rose rolls 484 out of 1 to 568. Tasty's Trading Company, Godfather 98682. Anyone have some extra iron thread? Trying to do daily writs, sad face.
Maybe it put me in group there. It's bugging like crazy. It was like, I was in Tasty's the whole time. But
There we go,
it switched me to group.
You're in.
Oh yeah, we were in.
Sorry, my mouth is full. I was eating chips.
Oh. Alright, what was the last number? 484?
Yep. Come on, I got 500 large on you, man.
Come on. It's me and you, Agent. You're the one who got my back.
I got your back.
Tasty's Trading Company.
I thought she was gonna win. She was killing it.
I was missing my turn and like didn't know I was supposed to go.
Small Blue Rose rolls.
Oh man, she cut it hard.
I'll take my rage out on your kneecaps if you lose Empathy.
Godfather 98682. Thanks, smiley face. No Empathy.
No!
8 out of 1 to 46. Small Blue Rose rolls 7 out of 1 to 8. No Empathy TTV rolls 4 out of 1 to 6.
Damn! Fuck!
Yeah, MTV, my man.
It's rigged.
Alright, so MTV gets paid. Come over here, MTV.
What am I doing?
You're getting paid,
Group, Virtual 96. Shouldn't have said 1 in 4 chance. Group, Virtual 96.
thank you, Icy Tomb. And you're getting paid 800,000.
Did anyone match the 50 grand I had on him or not?
MTV.
Tasty's
Who
Trading
matched the
Company,
50?
Keela, what did Boats and Hose do?
It's all good if no one did. I ain't really care.
Oh, Meds, did you put up 50 on,
Yeah.
I didn't see any match. I bet up against Icy Tomb. We could scroll up. Let me see.
Oh, good.
All good, bro? Hold on a second.
Tasty's Trading Company, I farm, donated gold to get everyone off risk.
Oh, Wax. You guys bet Wax.
Yeah.
Tasty's Trading Company.
So iPhone owes you 20 Wax.
He's already got
Yeah,
it.
we sorted it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm fast. I don't wait.
Word.
That man was on a stripper pole. I was expecting a good show, but then he hopped off the table.
I was worried there for a second. I was like, nobody's gonna bet on me. Look at them. They're like, all the money on Rose. I was like, oh shit, that's not a good sign. My ass was trying to follow Agent the whole time for some reason. I don't know if it was because I have no idea. I'm on so many pills.
You get them from Meds?
Group,
It's funny because I kept fucking up the order with Agent, and then Agent was the one that bet on me and won.
Tasty's Trading Company, AFS _ always _ 8788.
And you like to make me wait, don't you?
Running board.
What's going on?
I opened up a trade with you. I have to give you 800 large.
Oh, it's not popping up a trade with me.
No, it didn't show up on the screen.
Oh, there it goes.
Wait, that's the wrong person, isn't it?
Agent?
No, I'm agent.
I thought you were
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Such a messy game.
Ooh! Now I can pay for us to play again. Let's go!
All right.
We're in until this 800k is gone.
All right. Everybody in again?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Come. Let me collect the 100k from all of you.
Group Virtual 96, if it's
Oh,
free,
for
sure.
free. Virtual.
That'll just be easier.
So it's 100k a
Group
person,
Virtual
right?
96,
Yeah.
4.5k.
Hold on, let me.
And I give it to Agent?
Just give me a second. I want to get this 500 out of my bag.
I should get my keyboard out. I mean,
I was only covering the first round or two.
where's the light?
Group Virtual 96, out them. Group Virtual 96,
Yeah, thank you, Slime.
then
I really
asterisk.
appreciate it.
Group Virtual 96, CYA.
Oh, hey, that's nice.
Okay.
Group
Okay, Urtril. Have a good night.
GG Urtril.
You have a good night, too.
Group Virtual 96, U2. Group Virtual 96, Night, Laughing Face.
Alright, so I trade Agent the money.
Yeah, 100,000.
I'm paying for her and me. So I'll give you
Ooh.
200. If it lets me
Ooh.
trade you, it keeps doing the damn chair. There it goes.
Who's her? I hear two voices with this.
Me, No Empathy and No Empathy TTV are sitting right next to each other. So
Oh! Okay, I got you. I get it.
So I put a mic between us so that way, you know, we can both talk to you guys.
I understand. All right, so you give me 200k?
Yeah.
Group ICY underscore Toon Cirilla will strip
I don't know
out
if the
the
trade's
gold.
going through.
It looks buggy.
I don't know. It said invited to trade. Oh, it says your target is already trading. Never mind. Or is he trying to trade you?
Group elicitans how
I'm
much?
sitting down. I don't think he's trying to trade me.
Oh, okay. Let's try again. There it goes. It says he wants to trade finally.
Group
Now I give him 200k back. And now we're paid up. Yeah. Icy said we'll strip for gold. Oh my gosh, Nightbot kicked him out.
No way!
Yeah, he subscribed to the Twitch and then put a bunch of
Group
emotes
I
and
farm,
Nightbot got
expecting
pissed off
handsome
and
Redguard
came out
with
stream
massive
right after
chest
he
nips.
subscribed. That is such a dick move.
That's hilarious and terrible.
Like, thanks for the subscription. Get the fuck out. $5. Oh my god.
Who didn't pay it? iFarm?
Yeah. What's up?
I haven't traded yet either.
Agent, you already got me, bud.
Oh, I did? Okay. Meds.
Everybody likes meds.
Right? I'm on a lot of meds right now.
Okay. We're good.
Alright.
Group I farm, chest hairs extra gold.
Chest hairs extra gold.
Fancy.
Poor farm has to, like, correct us until we understand what the fuck we're doing. We're just sitting there, like, holding everybody up because you didn't know, like...
Oh, I know. I was very
she,
delayed.
she was over here like, why aren't we starting?
Alright, fellas and ladies. Roll out of 100 to see who goes the order.
Alright, so just roll.
I farm rolls 23 out of 1 to 100.
Fuck, I'm gonna be last.
Rolls
No,
57
wait,
out of
Icy's
1 to
behind.
100.
Yes.
ICY_Toom Cirilla
I
rolls
mean, last
11
worked
out
out
of
last
1 to
time, though,
100.
didn't it?
Small Blue Rose rolls 68 out of 1 to 100.
Okay. Agents
No Empathy
first.
TTV rolls 12 out of
All
1
right.
to 100.
Farm.
Myself.
Agent Navajo rolls 88 out of 1 to 100.
Rose.
No Empathy rolls 65 out of 1 to 100.
No imp. No imp. Meds. iFarm. No. Yep. iFarm. No MTV. MTV. And Icy. Alright, let's do this. Hold on a second.
No, you don't use your controller at all. You don't. You can just enter.
Tasty's Trading Company, Tasty Jealous
roll.
God, Impromptu Casino Night. Open up the
bottom
menu,
corner.
go to guilds, find this guild, press to teleport to the event hall and X up for II
Oh shit,
Farmer
Tasty's
Agent
pimping us
Navajo.
out.
Group, Agent Navajo,
we're getting
Agent
an
Trosno
advertisement?
Meds Farm Empt Vicey.
Do we want to wait
Yeah.
and add people?
We can.
Just in case?
Sure, why not?
I don't mind waiting.
Why doesn't Tasty ever join these events? Like every
He does.
event too.
He does, but he's busy with other stuff, and he just bought the guild traders, so he doesn't have the extra fund at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he places
Who were the
bids,
traders
and we
this
gotta
week?
wait. Yeah, we gotta wait for the bids to be over on Tuesday.
Tuesday, that's right.
So why two guilds?
That's gonna be hard to like.
So our first guild got full, so he decided to start a second guild so we can bring more people into our community.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was more.
Oh, there's a lot of alts in the main guild. From back
Oh,
when
yeah.
he made the guild, he made a lot of alts to be able to fill it, to be able to like get things going.
Yep.
We'll roll this time and then we'll bring in whoever's next.
It's his
So,
guild.
do you
Though.
want to invite him to group first, though, when he gets
Oh,
down?
who?
I'm not quite sure who arrived, but somebody just arrived. You'll have to invite them here in a second.
Okay.
But I'm ready, whenever you are, Agent.
Okay. Let's rock.
Tasty's
Oh,
Trading
wait,
Company.
wait a minute, let's get always in here first. Always is gold.
8788X. Group, I
We always.
welcome.
Come here, let me get
No
100K.
Empathy rolls 60 out of
sorry.
1 to 100.
What the fuck did I just do that for? My bad.
Hey, you don't have to roll.
Oh, it's because I picked up my controller.
But we're about to start here in just a moment, whenever he's ready.
Yeah, my bad.
Is always hopping in this round.
Yeah, just, you know what, always, roll 1 out of 100 and I'll stick you in to where everybody, in between everybody. Where you land. You know what I mean? We all roll, but go ahead and I'll stick you where you land.
AFS
Okay,
underscore
49.
underscore 8788 rolls 49
Okay.
out of 1 to 100.
After him.
So you're after meds.
Okay, cool. I'm still after iPhone.
Always.
But I've never done this, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, you know what you're doing?
Me neither.
No.
We just...
Oh, okay, so hold on, let me post the rules. Give me a second,
Okay.
and I'll explain to you.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm going to the thing right now to grab it.
Oh, you're gonna do it? Okay, you grab it.
Go find this thing. It's 50. That's red, green, blue. We don't need red, green, blue.
Yep. Oh, well.
Where's this?
Are you gonna post the rules, Farm? Or you want me to do it?
I'm trying to find where he has his thing for Death Dice.
Go into Guild, and then Tasty Trading Company, and then type in Tasty in the search bar, and then it's Jealous God Tasty D.
There it is. Select all, copy.
Group II Farm.
Okay,
Dice
so
elimination.
let me explain this to you all. Is
Roll 5,000's a second roll would
what
be
we're gonna do is
first. Third
we're gonna roll. We're gonna type slash roll.
When a 1 is rolled,
The first person is gonna write slash roll 5,000,
restarts from 50.
and then whatever the number is, let's say it's 1,150, and you're next, then you type slash roll 1,150, and every time when a person hits 1, you're out. Does it make any sense? I'll tell you what.
So when
play along with us, and I'll explain it.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Slash roll.
So, for instance, type slash roll always 5,000.
I Farm rolls 100
Now,
out of 1 to 5,000.
Yeah, you'll go
so
up
see,
by
I
1.
Farm, yeah, you'll go up as 100. You see that?
So if
So
I
you
just
just-
type slash roll, it will. Do I have to do 5,000 or no?
No,
you'll do
you go up
100
the
because I rolled
bottom number.
100.
Yeah. Like I see.
Elison's rolls 11 out of 1 to 83.
So okay.
Go ahead. You go out of 11. See, Meds rolled 11 at 83. Then you type slash roll 11.
Okay, so I type slash roll 11.
Correct.
Group ICY
So
underscore
practice
2
it.
Cirilla. Go again farm.
Man, I'm scared to go off.
AFS
There you go. So you rolled 11. So then the next person will roll out of your 11, and then the next person will roll out of 8.
Farm rolls 8 out of 1 to 11.
And that's how to do it until you get down to 1. And then once 1 gets hit, you're eliminated, and then it gets re-rolled from the very top.
ICY underscore 2
How the fuck everybody hitting 8?
out of 1 to 8.
So it's as bad as the
now,
twos.
now I do slash roll 8.
Yeah, you're just practicing right now. We haven't started, but you just slash roll 8.
I Farm rolls 5 out of 1 to 8.
Okay, I think that's pretty explanatory all the way through.
No
I'll walk you through it always when it's your turn. Okay? Until you get the hang of it.
Always
Always, so you would go off that 3. There's no empathy at a 3, so you would roll it out of a 3.
Oh, okay.
And then it's counting down all the way to 1. Now, once somebody hits 1, it resets back to 5,000. And then we roll it all the way back down. So all you have to do is just type slash roll, and then whatever number it is. So let's say he had a 3.
I Farm rolls 3 out of
I just
1 to
roll a
3.
3.
Just after the person that you're
ICY
after.
underscore 2 Cirilla. You have to time slash
yeah,
roll
yeah.
hashtag.
Okay? I'll clue him in when it's his turn, and we'll see. He'll get it in a round or two.
Tasty
Alright,
Trading
ready?
Company
You
and
guys ready?
underscore Thomas 74.
Type in the
Start
order.
page, the blind
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
right,
get this
my
thing
bad. My
started.
bad.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
me,
I forget.
Rose,
Oh, I forgot to take.
No
I
Amp,
handed them to you.
Meds,
Group ICY
Always.
underscore Toon Cirilla. Type asterisk.
iPhone,
Tasty's Trading Company and underscore Thomas 74 finally got it.
That
MTV,
sounded wonky.
and Icy.
Group Agent Navajo, Agent Trosno Emp Meds Always
Okay.
IFR Emp Vicey.
You guys ready? Here we go.
Okey-dokey.
Agent Navajo rolls
Alright, so now it's Rose.
4,027 out of 1 to 5,000. Tasty's Trading Company, Keela, congrats.
Don't roll too low.
She referred to
Tasty's
go
Trading
long.
Company, swagged
She's
underscore
like,
out
don't
underscore
roll low. I
21.
want it to
Where?
stay high. That's funny. I think Rose is AFK.
Miss Rose, you're up.
Gone.
Let's give her a second.
Tasty's Trading Company
Where'd the
and
stripper
underscore
go?
Thomas 74 v Bedlam Vale.
She
He's
has a
locked
private
in, it's gambling
room
time.
thing. What were those called? She's doing a private dance. You need to wait.
Oh hell, that's no fun. Let me join in the private.
Apparently, someone gave her the gold
Tasty's
she
Trading
was asking
Company,
for.
swagged
Said you get
underscore
new
out
girl money.
underscore 21. Oh, okay, nice.
The last strip club I went to was so much fun. So some girl was paying for like a private dance or whatever.
978 out of 1
And
to
then
4,027.
she took me in there anyway.
No Amp?
So,
Sorry, we're listening.
so me and this random ass girl, I had no idea who she was. All joined in with the stripper, and we were in there for like 3 hours because she paid for 2 hours. I paid for an hour.
175 out of 1
Alright, let me
So
explain
fucking
this. So, okay, Meds, go ahead. You got free dances and shit from this chick?
175.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
AFS
Okay, so
underscore
always, what you gotta do?
8788 rolls.
No, not
I'm
at
hitting
83.
/roll 18, right?
Yes.
That's
Slash
it.
roll
Just slash
space
roll
18.
space 18. Yep.
Yeah, but when I'm hitting /roll 18,
Slash roll space 18.
space 18, right? And then I hit random roll, it's not doing it out of
Don't hit
18.
random roll.
No, you're
not
hitting
hitting
enter.
random roll.
88 rolls 35 out
Oh,
of
I
Just
hit
slash
send?
roll number
Yeah, send.
enter.
Send. Yeah, send.
Oh,
go.
okay,
Jesus
that's where I was
Christ.
fucking up. Okay, my bad.
That's alright.
Oh my God.
Now you know. Now it's
Yeah, killer roll,
iPhone,
dude.
I farm rolls 2
Oh.
out of 1.
MTV.
Oh, I'm gonna get knocked out first.
No.
No empathy.
Ooh, Icy.
1 to 2.
Oh no!
Underscore Toon Cirilla rolls 2 out of 1 to 2.
Oh,
God.
Oh
Rose!
my God. Ugh.
Is it my turn?
No, it's Rose's turn.
Come on, Rose, hit a 2. Come on.
Right? Let's keep it going.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, come on,
no
Rose.
dice, Rose.
1 to 2.
No dice.
Damn.
Group.
Alright.
Small Blue
Whew, that
Rose,
was a lot of
GGS.
twos.
Your group is no longer a large group.
No such thing as a wasted day, so long as we go fishing.
Told Kate to hang tight. Right after we hung up, I heard Aunt Bonnie on the phone in the living room. Her voice was raised,
dear.
and even though I couldn't make out every word, I could tell she was laying into someone, my parents probably. I sat on the edge of the bed in Aunt Bonnie's spare room where she'd moved my boxes. Part of me wanted to eavesdrop, but another part was scared to hear what she was saying. After what felt like forever, the apartment went quiet. A minute later, Aunt Bonnie appeared in the doorway. "Well, I just had a nice chat with your father," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "He claims they didn't kick you out, just suggested you might want to stay with friends for a while." I snorted. "Yeah, right. They literally packed all my stuff." "I know," Aunt Bonnie said, sitting down next to me. "Your dad's always been good at rewriting history, but I made it clear you're staying with me for now, and we'll be having a family meeting soon to discuss how they've been treating you." My stomach dropped. "A family meeting? With them? Do we have to?" "Eventually, yes," she said, "but not right away. First, I want to get you settled here, and I get the feeling there's something you want to ask me." I nodded. "Kate wants to know if she can come over
Tasty's
to talk
Trading
to you
Company,
about,
CYN
her situation." Aunt
_Pup92,
Bonnie smiled.
style page,
"Of course she
The
can.
Blind
Tell her to
Mask.
come over tomorrow after school. I'll make sure to be home early from work." The rest of that day was weird but nice. Aunt Bonnie helped me unpack my stuff in her spare room. It was small but way nicer than sharing with Kate. I had my own desk, a queen-sized bed,
Tasty's
and
Trading
actual
Company,
privacy.
CYN
Aunt Bonnie even took me shopping for some
_Pup92,
decorations to make the
smiley
room feel
face.
more like mine. While we were out, I kept checking my phone. No messages from my parents. Not even a, "Are you okay?" or "We miss you." Just silence. Kate texted that she'd come over tomorrow around 4 p.m. to talk to Aunt Bonnie. That night, Aunt Bonnie ordered pizza and we watched movies on her couch. It felt so normal, like what I imagined other families did regularly. No walking on eggshells, no feeling like a burden just for existing, just relaxing and enjoying each other's company. "You know," Aunt Bonnie said during a quiet moment, "I always wanted kids of my own. Never worked out that way. But having you here, it's nice." I didn't know what to say to that, so I just smiled and focused on the movie. But something warm settled in my chest. For the first time in ages, I fell asleep feeling safe. The next day was a Tuesday. Aunt Bonnie had to work, but she left me a key and said to make myself at home. I spent the morning exploring her apartment and the afternoon doing some homework I'd brought with me. At 3:30, I started getting anxious about Kate's visit. Kate showed up right at 4, looking nervous but relieved to see me. We hugged for a long time in the doorway before I pulled her inside. "This place is nice," she said, looking around. "Aunt Bonnie's not home yet? She should be here any minute," I said. "Want some water or something?" Kate nodded and followed me to the kitchen. She looked pale and tired, like she hadn't slept well. We sat at the kitchen table in awkward silence for a few minutes before she spoke. "Mom and Dad think I'm at debate team practice," she said. "They don't suspect anything yet, but Mom made a comment about me gaining weight this morning." I almost had a panic attack. Before I could respond, we heard keys in the door. Aunt Bonnie walked in, still in her work clothes, carrying a bag of groceries. Her face lit up when she saw Kate. "There's my other niece," she said warmly, setting down the groceries to give Kate a hug. Kate burst into tears the moment Aunt Bonnie's arms went around her. The next hour was intense. Kate told Aunt Bonnie everything. About Tyler, about being 8 weeks pregnant, about being terrified of our parents finding out. Aunt Bonnie listened carefully, asking questions, but never judging. "Have you decided what you want to do?" Aunt Bonnie asked gently. Kate shook her head. "I don't know. I'm only 16. I'm supposed to go to college next year, but I also don't know if I could go through with an abortion." She started crying again. "And adoption. I don't know. You have options," Aunt Bonnie said, "and time to decide. But first, you need to see a doctor. Make sure everything's okay." "I can take you if you want." Kate nodded gratefully. "Could you? I'm scared to go alone, and I can't ask Mom." "Of course," Aunt Bonnie said. "And Kate, whatever you decide, I'll support you, even if your parents don't." Kate looked at me then, her eyes still wet with tears. "I'm so sorry about what happened, Lily. I just panicked. I thought if they found out while you were still there." "It's okay," I said, meaning it this time. "I get it. And honestly, it's better here anyway." After Kate left, promising to text us about setting up a doctor's appointment, I helped Aunt Bonnie make dinner. My mind was spinning with everything that was happening. Kate's pregnancy, my new living situation, the inevitable confrontation with my parents that Aunt Bonnie was planning. "Aunt Bonnie," I said as we chopped vegetables, "what's going to happen when
Hi,
my parents
baby.
find out about Kate?" She sighed.
Hi.
"I don't know, honey, but we'll face it together, all three of us." The next day was
Dad.
surprisingly peaceful. I settled into a routine at Aunt Bonnie's place. She'd wake me up for school, drop me off on her way to work, and pick me up afterward. We'd make dinner together, watch TV.
Hey, chill out there, kiddo.
My friends, my classes, all the normal stuff parents are supposed to care about, but mine never did. Kate came over a few times after school, supposedly for debate team research. Aunt Bonnie took her to a doctor's appointment, confirming she was indeed about 9 weeks pregnant. Kate was still undecided about what to do, but at least now she was getting proper prenatal care in the meantime. My parents? Radio silence. Not a single call or text asking how I was. Kate said they barely mentioned me at home, like I'd just ceased to exist. It hurt, but it also confirmed what I'd always suspected. They didn't really love me the way parents are supposed supposed to love their kids. Then on Friday evening, everything blew up. Kate called me in a panic. Mom found my prenatal vitamins, she said, her voice shaking. She put it together with me gaining weight. She knows Lily. She knows I'm pregnant. My heart sank. What happened? What did she say? She went ballistic. Kate sobbed. Started screaming about how I'd ruined my life, how no decent college would accept me now, how I'd brought shame on the family. Dad came home in the middle of it and lost his mind too. I put Kate on speaker so Aunt Bonnie could hear. Are you safe? Aunt Bonnie asked immediately. I'm in my room with the door locked, Kate said. But they keep pounding on the door, demanding I come out and face the consequences of my actions. I'm scared. Aunt Bonnie grabbed her car keys. We're coming to get you. Pack a bag with essentials. You can stay here too. The drive to my parents' house was tense. Aunt Bonnie drove like a woman on a mission, her knuckles white on the steering wheel. I sat in the passenger seat, texting Kate updates on our location. She wasn't responding anymore, which made my anxiety spike. When we pulled up to the house, I felt sick to my stomach. I hadn't been back since the day they kicked me out. The porch light was on, and both my parents' cars were in the driveway. Stay in the car, Aunt Bonnie instructed as she put the car in park. No way, I protested. Kate's my sister. I'm coming with you. Aunt Bonnie looked like she wanted to argue, but nodded instead. We walked up to the front door together, and she rang the doorbell. The sound of shouting from inside immediately stopped. A moment later, my dad yanked the door open. His expression changed rapidly from anger to surprise to a forced smile when he saw Aunt Bonnie. Bonnie, what a surprise, he said, completely ignoring my existence beside her. What brings you by so late? Cut the crap, Marcus, Aunt Bonnie said coldly. We're here for Kate. She called us. My mom appeared behind him, her face blotchy from crying or yelling or both. This is a family matter, Bonnie. You shouldn't be involved. I am family, Aunt Bonnie shot back. And so is Lily, though you seem to have forgotten that. Where's Kate? In her room, having a teenage tantrum, my dad said dismissively. She can come out when she's ready to discuss her options rationally. The way he said options made my skin crawl. I knew exactly what option he thought was rational. Let me go get her, I said, already moving toward the stairs. My mom tried to block my path. You don't live here anymore, Lily. You can't just move, Aunt Bonnie said, her voice so authoritative that my mom actually stepped aside. I ran upstairs to Kate's room, my old room too, and knocked gently. Kate, it's me. Open up. The door cracked open, and Kate peeked out, her face streaked with tears. When she saw it was really me, she flung the door open and hugged me tight. Thank God you're here, she whispered. They've lost their minds. Dad says I have to get an abortion, or he'll throw me out. Mom keeps crying about what people at church will say. Pack your stuff, I told her. You're coming to stay with me and Aunt Bonnie. Kate nodded and quickly grabbed a duffel bag, shoving clothes and toiletries inside. I helped her pack, grabbing things she missed, her laptop charger, her favorite sweater, the stuffed bear she'd given me years ago that had somehow survived the purge of my belongings. When we came back downstairs with her bag, my parents were still arguing with Aunt Bonnie in the entryway. You can't just take her, my mom was saying. She's 16. She's still a minor. Watch me, Aunt Bonnie replied. Unless you want me to call Child Protective Services and report how you've treated both your daughters, I suggest you step aside. My dad's face turned an alarming shade of red. Is that a threat? You have no proof of anything. I have Lily's testimony, Aunt Bonnie said calmly. And now I have evidence of you trying to force Kate into a medical procedure against her will. Do you really want to test me on this, Marcus? My parents exchanged a look. For the first time in my life, I saw something like fear in their eyes. Kate can make her own decisions when she turns 18, my mom said, changing tactics. For now, she stays here where we can take care of her. Take care of her like you took care of me? I blurted out. By treating her like garbage if she doesn't do exactly what you want? My dad finally acknowledged my presence with a glare. You don't know what you're talking about. We've always provided for both of you. Providing food and shelter is the bare minimum, I shot back. You never loved me. And now that Kate's done something you don't approve of, you're treating her the same way. Kate stepped forward, clutching her bag. I'm going with Aunt Bonnie and Lily. I'll be back when you're ready to support me no matter what I decide about my baby. My mom started crying again, but it felt manipulative rather than genuine. Kate, please, think about your future. I am thinking about my future, Kate said firmly. And right now, it's not here. We walked out of the house together. My parents too shocked to physically stop us. As we drove away, I looked back to see them standing in the doorway, watching us go. They looked small and pathetic somehow, no longer the towering figures of authority they'd been in my mind for so long. The next few days were adjustment. Kate took my bed while I slept on the pull-out couch. Aunt Bonnie's small apartment felt crowded with 3 people, but also warm and safe in a way our parents' house never had. My parents called Kate's phone constantly for the first 2 days, alternating between threats and tearful pleas for her to come home. She eventually turned off her phone to get some peace. They didn't call me once. On the 3rd day, I was alone in the apartment while Aunt Bonnie was at work, and Kate was at her follow-up doctor's appointment. The doorbell rang, and when I looked through the peephole, I nearly had a heart attack. My parents were standing there. I called Aunt Bonnie immediately. They're here, I whispered into the phone. Mom and Dad are at the door. Don't let them in, she said firmly. I'm leaving work now. I'll be there in 20 minutes. The doorbell rang again, followed by pounding. Lily, we know you're in there, my dad shouted. Open this door right now. I stayed quiet, hoping they'd give up and leave. They didn't. After a few minutes, I heard and Aunt Bonnie. I'm not going anywhere with you. Not until you accept that this is my decision to make. My mom started crying again. Kate, please. We just want what's best for you. No, you want what's easiest for you. Kate shot back. What's best for your reputation? You don't care about what I want or need. That's not true. My dad protested. We love you. Like you love Lily? Kate asked pointedly. That shut them up. They looked at me, then at each other, clearly not knowing how to respond. Aunt Bonnie stepped forward. I think it's time we all had that family meeting I mentioned. Sit down, both of you. She gestured to the couch. Surprisingly, my parents sat. Maybe they were shocked by Aunt Bonnie's authority, or maybe they finally realized the seriousness of the situation. Either way, for the next 2 hours, we talked. Really talked. Kate explained how terrified she was when she found out she was pregnant, how she knew our parents would react badly. I told them how their treatment had affected me all my life. The birthdays, the report cards, the constant feeling of being less than. Aunt Bonnie shared her perspective as an outsider who had watched their behavior for years without saying anything, something she now regretted. My parents mostly listened, occasionally trying to defend themselves, but getting shut down quickly. By the end, my mom was crying for real, not the manipulative tears from before. My dad looked like he'd aged 10 years in one afternoon. I didn't realize, he said finally, his voice rough. I didn't see what we were doing. Bull, Aunt Bonnie said flatly. You saw. You just didn't care. The question is whether you care now. My mom looked at me through her tears. Lily, I'm so sorry. We've been terrible parents to you. It was the first genuine apology I'd ever heard from her. I didn't know what to do with it. Part of me wanted to accept it immediately, to have the loving parents I'd always wanted. Another part wanted to tell them to go to hell. Sorry doesn't fix 16 years, I said eventually, but it's a start. The conversation shifted to Kate and her pregnancy.
Tasty's Trading Company, I Farm, Casino still rolling on Death Dice 100K by Inst. Travel to me if interested.
The baby, adoption, or termination, and her fears about each choice. By the time they left, nothing was resolved, but something had shifted. They promised to respect whatever decision Kate made about her pregnancy. They invited both of us to come home, but also said they understood if we wanted to stay with Aunt Bonnie for now. As Aunt Bonnie closed the door behind them, the three of us collapsed onto the couch, emotionally exhausted. Do you think they meant it? Kate asked quietly, about supporting my decision. I don't know, Aunt Bonnie said honestly. People don't change overnight, but they might be starting to see the damage they've done. I wasn't convinced. One conversation, no matter how intense, couldn't undo a lifetime of behavior, but for the first time, I felt like maybe, just maybe, things could be different. That night, as I lay on the pull-out couch staring at the ceiling, I thought about everything that had happened. In less than 2 weeks, my entire life had been turned upside down. I'd lost my home, gained an ally in Aunt Bonnie, and somehow ended up in a strange new dynamic with my parents. Kate came out of the bedroom and sat at the edge of my makeshift bed. Can't sleep? I asked. She shook her head. Too much going on in here. She tapped her temple. Lily, do you think I should give them another chance? I sat up. That's your call. They're still our parents, for better or worse. I'm scared they'll go back to how they were before, she admitted. That they'll pressure me about the baby, or treat you badly again. Probably, I said honestly. People don't change that easily. But now we have Aunt Bonnie, and we have each other. Kate smiled a little. We've always had each other. She paused, then added, I think I want to keep the baby. Is that crazy? I reached out and squeezed her hand. Not crazy. Scary. Sure, but you'll be an amazing mom. Better than ours, at least, Kate said with a bitter laugh. As we sat there in the dark, I realized something important. No matter what happened with our parents, whether they truly changed or just pretended to, Kate and I would be okay. We had survived this far. We would keep surviving. Together. The journey ahead would be complicated. Kate's pregnancy, my uncertain living situation, our fractured relationship with our parents. But for the first time, I felt like we weren't facing it alone. The next morning, I woke up with a weird sense of hope, mixed with doubt. Kate was curled up next to me on the pull-out couch, having fallen asleep there after our late-night talk. She looked peaceful for once, one hand resting protectively over her still flat stomach. I carefully got up without waking her, and found Aunt Bonnie in the kitchen making pancakes. Morning, she said, sliding a stack onto a plate for me. How'd you sleep? Okay, I guess, I said, dousing the pancakes in syrup. Kate told me she wants to keep the baby. Aunt Bonnie nodded, not looking surprised. I figured she might. That girl's got a nurturing spirit. Always has. She sat down across from me. How do you feel about becoming an aunt? I hadn't really thought about it that way. Weird. Good weird, though. We ate in comfortable silence until Kate shuffled in, hair sticking up in all directions. Aunt Bonnie wordlessly passed her a plate of pancakes, which she accepted gratefully. So what happens now? I asked after we'd all eaten. Now we figure out a game plan, Aunt Bonnie said. Kate needs to finish school. You both need stability, and your parents need to prove they're serious about changing. Kate looked down at her empty plate. I should probably talk to Tyler, too. He deserves to know what I'm deciding. That conversation happened later that day. Tyler came over looking terrified, probably expecting Aunt Bonnie to tear him a new one. Instead, she offered him lemonade and gave them privacy to talk in the bedroom while I pretended not to eavesdrop from the hallway. I couldn't hear everything, but Tyler's reaction surprised me. No arguing or denying responsibility. Instead, he kept saying stuff like, whatever you need, and I'll be there. When they came out an hour later, Kate looked relieved, and Tyler looked determined, if still scared. I'll tell my parents tonight, he promised before leaving. They'll freak, but they're big on responsibility. They won't let me bail. After he left, Kate flopped down next to me on the couch. Well, that went better than expected. He seems decent, I admitted. He is, Kate said, scared out of his mind, but decent. The next couple days passed in a blur of planning. Aunt Bonnie called our parents parents for another meeting, this time with all of us plus Tyler and his parents. Talk about awkward. Tyler's parents were shocked but rallied quickly, especially his mom. My parents were stiff and formal, but at least they weren't yelling. The adults talked about practical stuff, medical insurance, living arrangements, school plans. I mostly sat quietly, watching everyone's faces. My dad kept looking at me when he thought I wasn't paying attention. This weird mix of guilt and something else I couldn't identify. My mom barely made eye contact with anyone. After that meeting, our parents asked if we'd consider coming home for dinner that weekend. A fresh start, my mom called it. Kate immediately looked at me. Up to Lily, she said firmly. I go where she goes. My dad nodded slowly. Fair enough. I agreed, but only if Aunt Bonnie came too. No way was I walking back into that house without my backup. They reluctantly said yes. That Friday night was the most uncomfortable dinner of my life. My mom had clearly spent hours cooking all our favorite foods, even remembering mine correctly, which was a first. The conversation was strained, everyone trying too hard to be polite. Halfway through dinner, my dad cleared his throat. I've been doing some reading, he said awkwardly, about colorism and how it affects children. He looked directly at me. I never realized what I was doing to you, Lily. I'm not asking for forgiveness, just a chance to try to be better. I almost choked on my mashed potatoes. My dad, reading about colorism, admitting he was wrong. I didn't know what to say, so I just nodded. My mom jumped in next. We've also found a family therapist, she said. For all of us, if you girls are
Hi,
willing,
baby.
we have a lot to work through. I looked at Kate, who raised her eyebrows like, what do you think?
You can have a bite.
We'll think about it. After dinner, my dad awkwardly showed me my old
It's late. You shouldn't even be having any of
They'd
this.
completely redone it. New paint, new furniture, even a fancy desk for studying. It was nice. Way nicer than what I'd had before. We thought if you wanted to come back. He trailed off. I don't know yet, I said honestly. This is all happening really fast. He nodded. I understand. The room's yours whenever you want it. No pressure. That night, back at Aunt Bonnie's, Kate and I stayed up late talking. She was torn about moving back home. On one hand, they were being surprisingly supportive about the baby now. On the other hand, we both knew how quickly they could flip. What do you think? She asked me. Should we give them another chance? I sighed. I don't know. Part of me wants to believe they've changed. Another part is waiting for them to go back to normal. Same, Kate admitted. But I also feel bad about taking advantage of Aunt Bonnie. Her apartment's tiny for 3 people, let alone 4 once the baby comes. That was a good point. Aunt Bonnie had been amazing, but this wasn't a long-term solution. We decided to talk to Aunt Bonnie about it in the morning. When we brought it up over breakfast, she surprised us. I've actually been thinking about this, she said. I've been looking at 3-bedroom apartments. More space for all of us. You want us to stay with you permanently? Kate asked, sounding shocked. Aunt Bonnie shrugged. If that's what you want, or you could try going home, with the understanding that my door is always open if things don't work out. We talked this through for hours. By the end, we had a plan. Kate and I would move back home on a trial basis. We'd attend family therapy. We'd spend weekends with Aunt Bonnie. And at the first sign of our parents reverting to their old ways, we'd be out of there. Moving back was weird. My parents were trying so hard it was almost uncomfortable. My dad kept asking about my schoolwork and offering to help. My mom suddenly wanted to know about my friends and interests. They both fussed over Kate, making sure she ate properly and got enough rest. Family therapy was even weirder. Our therapist, Dr. Chen, didn't look like he could get away with anything. When my dad tried to downplay some of the things he'd done, she called him out immediately. When my mom talked about how hard it was for her, Dr. Chen pointed out how much harder it had been for me. The breakthrough came about a month in. We were talking about birthdays, specifically how they celebrated Kate's but ignored mine. My mom started with her usual excuses about being busy or tight on money. That doesn't explain the pattern, doctor. Chen said calmly. Why was money always tight for Lily's birthday but never for Kate's? My mom went silent. Then,
Yeah, baby. Purple.
Babushka Carrick, Zone, anyone has corn?
but I treated you differently because you look more black, and that's unforgivable. The room went dead quiet. My dad looked like he'd been punched. Kate reached over and squeezed my hand. I don't know if it's unforgivable, I said finally, but it really messed me up. My mom nodded, tears streaming down her face. I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it right, if you'll let me. It wasn't an instant fix. There were still awkward moments, still times when they'd slip into old habits and I'd have to call them out. But that confession was the first time I believed they might actually be changing. Meanwhile, Kate's pregnancy was progressing. Her first ultrasound was a big deal. We all went, even Tyler. Seeing that tiny blob on the screen made everything more real. Kate cried. Tyler looked terrified, but held her hand the whole time. My parents stood awkwardly in the corner until the technician asked if they wanted to see their future grandchild. After that, my mom couldn't stop talking about baby stuff. By the time Kate was showing, our family had fallen into a new routine. It wasn't perfect, but it was better. My parents were trying consistently. I was cautiously letting them back in. Kate was glowing despite the morning sickness and swollen ankles. We still spent every other weekend with Aunt Bonnie. Those weekends became my favorite. Just the 3 of us hanging out, watching movies, talking about everything and nothing. Aunt Bonnie never pressured us about our parents. She just listened and offered advice when asked. One Saturday at Aunt Bonnie's, Kate grabbed her stomach suddenly while we were watching TV. My heart nearly stopped until she laughed. The baby's kicking, she exclaimed. Here, feel. She grabbed my hand and placed it on her rounded belly. Sure enough, I felt a little thump against my palm. It was the weirdest, coolest thing I'd ever experienced. Hey in there, I said to Kate's stomach. I'm your Aunt Lily. Can't wait to meet you. Kate smiled so big I thought her face might split. I found parents basically saw me as a cotton picker, as they called me. I still felt lucky, because Kate was always there. Until one smiled so big I
Tiki.
thought her face might split. I found out yesterday.
Tiki.
Girl, and
Tiki.
I'm going to have a
Tiki.
need everything for me. Have you thought about names? Aunt Bonnie asked. Kate nodded. I like Bonnie Lily Williams. She looked at us shyly. After my 2 favorite people. I didn't cry. I absolutely did not cry. Okay, maybe I cried a little. When we told our parents the baby's name, my mom actually hugged me. Not Not a stiff, formal hug, but a real one. She'll be lucky to have you as her aunt, she said softly. The months flew by. Kate finished her first semester of community college with decent grades despite everything. Tyler got a part-time job and saved every penny for the baby. My parents converted their home office into a nursery, painting it yellow because Kate didn't want pink. Aunt Bonnie knitted enough baby blankets to survive a nuclear winter. I focused on school too, getting straight A's my senior year. When college acceptance letters started arriving, my parents were genuinely excited for me. They even threw me a small party when I got into my first choice, the first real celebration they'd ever given me. It felt good, if a little surreal. Kate's water broke 2 weeks early, right in the middle of my graduation ceremony. One minute I was walking across the stage to get my diploma, the next my dad was frantically waving from the audience. We rushed to the hospital, still in my cap and gown. The labor was long, 16 hours of Kate alternating between crying, screaming, and threatening to murder Tyler if he ever touched her again. We all took turns sitting with her, me, my parents, Tyler, his parents, Aunt Bonnie. By hour 15, we were all exhausted. But then, suddenly, it was happening. The doctor was telling Kate to push, and a few minutes later, a tiny crying human was placed on Kate's chest. Bonnie Lily Williams was 6 pounds, 7 ounces of perfect. She had Kate's nose, Tyler's chin, and skin a shade between theirs. My parents cried when they held her. So did Aunt Bonnie. So did I, if I'm being honest. That night, after everyone else had gone home or to the cafeteria, it was just me and Kate in the hospital room. Kate was dozing while I held baby Bonnie. Hey there, I whispered to my niece. You caused quite a stir. You know that? Changed everything. And she had. Looking at her tiny face, I realized how much had shifted in less than a year. Kate and I had gone from sisters surviving our parents to actual family. My parents had gone from people I feared and resented to people I was cautiously starting to trust. Aunt Bonnie had gone from a distant relative to one of the most important people in my life. None of it was perfect. My parents
Yeah, I do. It's fun. I've been doing a lot of fishing. I just finished Vvardenfell. I said I was never coming back, but then guy said he found the elusive polyp mushroom. Now I'm fucking back. Fucking hate Vvardenfell. Bro, you're back? You still haven't found Rosie? What the fuck? What's up, bro?
There you are, Rosie. Oh, I'm so relieved. I'd never fly off like that again.
I was wondering.
Who's a good little netch? You are.
You shit, he had a fucking edge.
Did you find some yummy bugs?
I don't think they have... Do they have WoW on PlayStation? I don't think they have WoW on PlayStation. Now I gotta hear... Alright, I'm fucking leaving. I don't wanna hear you sweet talk your fucking netch. I never really got into 76. I liked New Vegas. I've tried to get into 4 countless times. Haven't been able to do it. Did Fortnite for a bit, but got tired of their, oh, what is it? How they, their matchmaking selection, like, oh, what, I bitch about it all the time, so I don't know why it's not coming to me. But, it's just like, it should have better matchmaking skills, because it's like, I'm doing better than what... At least I think I'm doing better than how much I'm winning, and it just kinda... It gets... Yeah. And I just got tired of losing all the time. And it's like, I shouldn't be walking away with, like, 15 kills just to get, like... nothing. You know, no wins. It just... it got old real fast. So same with Marvel. They just don't have good matchmaking stuff. So it's like, I'll just go play something else. And then Dauntless is closing their servers this month. So that's what I got into for a minute, was Dauntless, and I would still probably be on it, but like I said, I found out their servers were closing, and I didn't want to waste my time, any more time on that. I tried this out because my friend was like, "Oh, I'll definitely play with you if you play this game," and then stuff came up. I mean, she didn't fucking play with me before. So if you're watching this, fuck you, bitch. But she had other stuff come up too, so some personal, really personal stuff. So I don't blame her for not being able to play right now. Although she has asked me if she gets time if I can turn her into a vamp, so I'll be doing that if she gets on and if she has time. Ooh, some more mushroom over here.
Better overstocked than under.
Let's help. You know, I do want to see real quick what Hell's doing.
To Hellscreamer24_ fucking bitch ass. 2. Hellscreamer24_. No hose having asked by EA at touch.
I really thought he'd say something. Not even a message. Alright. Wee. There's the runestone. Not the mushroom I've been looking for. I need mushrooms.
You could craft something nice with that.
To Hellscreamer24_. I'm farming for your testes.
Yes, baby. Baking baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Roll it, pat it, mark it with a C. You put it in the oven for the Coralines and me. You're so tired, baby. You should go Mimi's. Pat it, mark it with a C. Ay, 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 she says.
Never a bad time to cast some lines.
was perfect. My parents still slipped up sometimes. Family therapy was still a weekly necessity. Kate and Tyler were still figuring out co-parenting while finishing high school. I still had moments of doubt about forgiveness. But looking at baby Bonnie, I knew we'd figure it out. All of us. Together. As if sensing my thoughts, baby Bonnie opened her eyes and looked right at me. I swear she smiled, though the rational part of me knows newborns don't really smile. In that moment, I felt this fierce protectiveness wash over me. This little girl would never know what it felt like to be unwanted or unloved. She would grow up surrounded by people who adored her, including a mom, grandparents, and an aunt who had learned the hard way what family should be. You're going to be fine, I whispered to her. We all are.
We've got 10 Am I the Devil Reddit stories for you guys today. Starting it off with should I go for it with my brother's girlfriend if she's giving me all the signs? This one does in fact have an update. I cannot wait to see how this one goes. But stick around for 9 more absolutely stupid Am I the Devil Reddit stories, including I accidentally got
More water.
aggressive with my girlfriend and made the worst impression to all of her friends. How do I fix this? And of course, ending it off with would I be the a-hole for ending it with a girl via a poem? Alrighty, chat. Y'all know the drill.
Via a poem.
Should I go for it with my brother's girlfriend if she's giving me all the signs?
Where you going, baby?
Relationship advice. We have a 21 male OP, a 19 male
I love you.
19 female girlfriend. I will call my brother C and my brother's girlfriend X. This is so messy. I am pretty close with
My shirt's inside out. I just realized that.
So my brother and his girlfriend have come to our grandma for a week. They have off. They have been here for 5 days. They won't leave for 3 more, and it's killing me. My little brother is not the best looking in the family. He's just not. Since he started seeing his girlfriend, he's gone to the gym and bulked up a bit and changed his hair and his eating habits. Not because she forced him. She loved him even when he was chubby. He said he wanted to start working out and eating better to get into the same level of attractiveness as her. My best friend, she is a girl, and I both agreed beforehand that she is very good looking just from her pictures with my brother on social media and stuff. My brother and his girlfriend came to visit my grandmother and I
I think that's clothing.
Not only is she
Still will have to go to a clothing station.
She's pre-med and is taking a lot of hard classes that my brother says she's been breezing through. She is the world's easiest person to talk to. The first night she came to visit, she was quiet, as this was the first time meeting extended family for her. The next day, my brother had a migraine, and she wanted to stay home with him and take care of him. But I convinced her to go to the mall with me, and my brother encouraged her to. We spent the day at the mall together, we played with puppies at a store, and shopped a bit and got lunch. I don't think I've ever gotten along with someone as well as I've gotten along with his girlfriend. She is beautiful, witty, and basically my ideal partner. I have quickly developed strong feelings for her. It gets really fucking messy from here. My brother was showing me some memes on his phone and accidentally swiped by a nude of hers. He thought I wasn't looking at his phone, but I did manage to see. I know this is really bad, but when he got up to go to the bathroom, I unlocked his phone and went to look at it. I couldn't help myself. I've already mentioned that I think she's hot, so I won't go into detail about how I felt about the picture because it's probably obvious. I felt so guilty about it. Hurts every time to read this fucking thread. It's just don't look at someone's naked photos unless they sent that to you and after this incident, I think people started noticing me becoming uncomfortable near her. My brother, my mom, and my grandma asked me about it. Eventually, his girlfriend asked me if she had done anything to offend me, and I said no. I came to my senses and stopped acting like a dude. I asked if she wanted to go to the grocery store with me, and she said sure. I thought it would just be the two of us, but my brother tagged along as well. We went to the grocery store together, went back, and ended up driving to the city in the afternoon. I don't want to give away anything that might identify me, which is an hour from where we live. My brother fell asleep in the car, and again, it was just his girlfriend and me talking. She ended up climbing from the back seat to the front to talk to me. We talked and joked the whole way into the city, and I just knew something was there. I did something stupid, and I told her that I wish we'd met in high school, and she replied that she thinks we would have been best friends. Ouch. However, once we... Wait. So she friend-zoned you? She friend-zoned the fuck out of you? And you are like, wait a minute, hold on, I think she likes me. I know dudes can be stupid about this shit, but bro, come on. She hit you with a, you're such a good friend, and you were like, haha, I got a shot. However, once we reached the city, she was back being lovey-dovey with my brother. It sucked because I wanted to hold her hand so bad. I think they felt bad for me because yesterday was Valentine's Day and I don't have a girlfriend, so they didn't kiss or anything, and they just looked at each other like they're in love. My questions are the following. I know she can tell that we have a good connection, so should I go for it? I really want to tell her my feelings this evening. What's the best way to do that? Thanks. I hurt. This hurt. Why? How did you possibly get that? Oh, hey, you don't think maybe, it's her first time meeting you guys? She's just being friendly and trying to make a good impression on the family that she might marry into if this goes well? If your sibling brings their new partner home and you develop feelings for them, it's ridiculous. There's no justification there. There's no, oh, we have great chemistry. Oh, if we would have met in high school, we would have been perfect to each other. Like, no, bro. Any person that your sibling brings home should not be on the table.
Tasty's Trading Company, Fairy Queen Lara,
Although,
free.
guys, chat, let's be honest. I know I'm saying all
Tasty's
this
Trading
shit, chat,
Company,
but
Fairy
look at
Queen
the
Lara,
picture that I
Blueprint,
posted
Threat and
on my
Shells,
YouTube
double.
channel, and people are eating this shit
Tasty's
up. It
Trading
was my
Company,
most
Fairy Queen
liked
Lara, Blueprint,
photo
High
on
Elf
my
Table,
YouTube channel.
Sturdy Formal. Tasty's Trading Company, Fairy Queen Lara, Blueprint, Red Guard Cart, Work.
I'm glad you love that photo,
Spicy
guys.
Potatoes,
I did
Crystal
specify
underscore
the
Bond,
trip. Me and my
Bass
sister's
plus
boyfriend
3
in
in
an
GF.
intimate place with my son.
Attempt and
That
skin
did
run.
not stop the comments. Very
Tasty's
cute
Trading
homosexual
Company,
couple.
Fairy Queen Lara, free smiley face.
You guys are too funny. Y'all are funny as fuck. In all seriousness, I don't actually.
Tasty's
I'm not,
Trading
like, I would
Company,
never hit
no
on my
empathy,
sibling's
Cart
partners.
PLZZZ.
That is an unspoken line. Like, where do you go from that? Even if it works, what do you do? Hey.
Tasty's Trading Company, Fairy Queen Lara, sent, smiley face. Tasty's Trading Company,
nice
Silbury, table please. Tasty's Trading Company, Fairy Queen Lara, sent, smiley face.
And left to stay in Atlanta, promising my grandma he'd call and explain when he got there. He just called via her landline, and they will be getting lunch tomorrow. I received a text from his girlfriend about a half hour ago. I copied
Tasty's Trading Company,
Honestly,
no
this is
empathy,
ridiculous
thanks
that I even
Lara.
have to say this. You violated your brother's
Tasty's
trust
Trading
and
Company,
mine.
Silbury,
The pics
thank you
weren't
very
made in
much.
eyes. I love your brother, not you.
Tasty's
It's
Trading
never gonna
Company,
happen.
Fairy
You've
Queen
ruined
Lara,
any
you're
possible
welcome
friendship
carrot dash
we could
carrot.
have. I'm not angry, but I can't forgive this, and I believe you need therapy. Good luck.
Yeah,
Hope you stay.
yeah.
I hope you get the help you need. He cooks, bro. Definitely does need therapy. He needs therapy to educate himself on what it means for somebody to actually have feelings for you. Like, nothing that the girlfriend was doing was any indication that she had feelings for OP. I am sitting here bawling in bed while my grandma knocks on the door to ask what's wrong. Reddit, what do I do? What are the steps to take to fix things with my brother? How do I apologize to the girlfriend? How do I tell my poor grandmother? Thanks in advance. I should have listened to your advice. I don't know what Reddit's advice was, but I'm guessing it was to not say anything to the brother. While I don't think it was a great idea to talk to the brother, I'm also down for the fact that he's being held accountable to his actions, because who else would hold him accountable in person for his actions? Shit, bro, I don't think there is any coming back from this. I mean, if I'm that brother, I'm never trusting OP ever again. I think the only maybe directly fixable thing here is I think maybe you should talk to your grandma and let her know about how you fucked up and make sure that she hears it from you. I think taking accountability for your actions shows that you truly are apologetic for it. I can't get a good sense if OP's actually apologetic from this update, but I mean, that's a step to actually being apologetic, is taking accountability. Her reaction will be better for you if you're the one who communicates that you fucked up rather than somebody else communicating it. But yeah, bro, I just think you gotta go to therapy and be on your knees begging for your brother and his girlfriend's forgiveness for like the rest of your life until they maybe decide to forgive you. That's a situation where you genuinely apologize, move on, therapy it up, and accept the consequences, whatever they are. Hey, dude, that is a great way to put it. This is perfectly just, you made this bed, bro. You gotta sleep in it. Who knows? Maybe the bed will get better in time, but you aggressive with my girlfriend and made the worst impression on all her friends. How do I fix this? We have a 29 male OP, 29 female girlfriend. One of the
2,
worst possible scenarios that I've been
3.
afraid of happened. I don't know what got into me, and I regret it incredibly. It's
My
one big
thoughts
long
with
story,
chest,
but
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
I've ever
necessary for
explained it on
context.
chat,
We've been together for 4
but
months, and it's been amazing. In fact, I have never met a woman who likes me so much ever.
I do it by quarters. You know, 4 quarters equals $1. So if I have above 25% chance, I should be able to get it in within 4 tries of forcing the lock.
Dude, she's like so in love me and seems like I also love her.
If I don't get it within the 4 tries, I might try a few more times, or else I'll just switch to actually picking the lock.
I get along with people quite well, so I said sure. We get to the place, and I felt so out of place and awkward the whole night. I couldn't vibe with anyone there. It's also the kind of party where people just dance and drink until they pass out, and that's not really my thing. So I was greeting everyone left and right, and I got so overwhelmed that I started being mean. Unfortunately, that's my defense mechanism under stress with strangers, and I made some sarcastic and mean jokes with her friends. I apologized
Darkful
immediately
Wolfie,
every
Zone.
time to them.
Anyone willing
Even
to help
admitted
me
to
get
being
ESO Gold
overwhelmed
Road
by the
Deluxe
sheer amount of people
DLC?
I
I will
don't
pay
know,
12 million
and the
gold whisper
atmosphere
if
is
interested.
so far out of my comfort zone. I talked overly loud, and in the moment I didn't realize it, but I was all acting so strange and weird and being genuinely a creep. I was insanely out of place. Not even the guy in the corner kind of strange, but I tended to overcompensate with being loud, controlling, and mean. Eventually, I got a bit more relaxed and we went to dance. For a few minutes, I was actually enjoying myself dancing with my girlfriend, when she told me to chill because I'm moving like I want to beat someone up and I act agitated, which was probably true. And that's the moment when I sort of snapped. We were holding hands and I don't know what got into me, but I squeezed her hands way too tight to the point where I hurt her. But more so than physically, I hurt her emotionally. We went outside and I apologized and talked it out. And in the meantime, I made a couple of more sarcastic / mean remarks. I apologized and talked it out and then made more mean and sarcastic remarks. What? This guy is just a walking contradiction. He's like, oh, I'm usually like this, but then I act like that. That's a complete opposite of what I just told you. I think this dude is just severely in denial of who he is as a person. I think he's an asshole. I think he has a lot of anger and hatred towards other people and can't take any accountability for it. He's like, oh, it was just this one-off thing where like, I was kind of a creep and kind of mean to people and was super overstimulated. Like, no, bro, let's be honest. You're probably a fucking dick. I'd probably put some money on that one. By the end of the night, I couldn't take it anymore, and I left soon after the clock hit midnight. We talked some more and made up, but the next day she did tell me that I scared her in that moment, to which I promised it would never happen again. I cried the whole night when I got home, and I'm not the type to cry easily. In fact, I don't know if I ever cried so much in my entire life. Not even when I was a kid. Partially because I fucked up bad with her friends, but mostly because I did something I never thought me capable of, hurting her like that. So now all her friends probably despise me, even worse if they actually saw me doing that to her. She lost part of her trust in me, and I can't go through the day without getting the flashbacks from last night and feeling like crying whenever it happens. Any advice is welcome, really. How do I fix this fuck up? Obviously, to me right now, it feels like the relationship is doomed, which it may or may not be. I mean, bro, like, fuck the relationship. I don't even think you should be in this relationship. I think you need to end it if you actually care about this woman. You need to go to therapy for yourself. Yourself is fucked up. The relationship would be fine if you weren't as fucked up as you probably are. This man is insane for the lack of awareness he has. This lack of awareness around, hey, bro, if you're doing these things, it probably means there's something really fucking wrong with you. You probably need to do some therapy and take a step back
Iron,
from a relationship that you
ebony.
say that you care about this person, yet you
I need
physically
white
harm them and
stone.
act like an asshole around all their friends. I don't know, maybe we're getting a little silly here, but I think that's a great idea. It's a lot of double speaking and contradictions, as well as making justifications as to why they acted out in a way in the name of overstimulation. Go to therapy. That's what I was trying to say, Alina. I think you said it a lot better than I did. Like, just a walking contradiction. Like, all he did was like, oh, I'm like this, but I actually did this. Did he say he was also under the influence? I don't think so.
Tasty's Trading Company. I farm. Blackjack starting now.
Even more red flag. Like, if this is how you are and you aren't even intoxicated, I can't imagine the type of person you would be when you're intoxicated. Am I the a-hole for falsely accusing someone of grooming? You know, it's gonna be a crazy story when they started off with, I know I might sound like a terrible person, but hear me out. I'm a 47-year-old mom to my 16-year-old daughter, Clara, who attends a youth group. There's a boy in the group named Harvey, who is autistic, low functioning, and between 13 to 16 years old. The youth group also has a leader named Tyler, who is 21. Clara started telling me about what seemed like clear favoritism between Tyler and Harvey, which upset me. For instance, they went to a movie where Tyler bought Harvey popcorn and snacks, but Clara and the other kids had to pay for their own. Another time, they stopped at McDonald's, and Tyler paid for Harvey's meal, but no one else's. On a separate occasion, they went to a place with a shop, and Tyler bought things for Harvey, but not for the other kids. Tyler seemed to pay much more attention. Harvey, yeah? Oh, come back. It's stream time. I have the baby boy. Baby boy will be here for stream. Oh, are you done? You said bye, Dad. Oh, stop. Oh, you're good. Oh, no, you said I want the high ground. Oh, okay. Baby boy wants to feel taller. All right, baby boy. Oh, you come back now? What's up, baby boy? He's so mean. He's so cute. Everyone tell my son how handsome he is. Near. Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't want that. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Okay, he's fine. He's chilling. He might rub his face on the camera lens. Sometimes, every once in a while, we get lucky. Oh, no. He said, just kidding. It's not work time. It's me lay on your mouse time. How am I supposed to read Reddit with this adorable kitty? Oh. Okay, don't do that. We don't do that. He also somehow changed my camera? Is Beans the producer now? Beans said, no, that's not the right camera, Dad. That doesn't show my angles right. I probably shouldn't be, like, giving him pets and stuff, because now I'm just solidifying this behavior's okay.
Spicy
But also,
potatoes,
look how
Crystal
cute he is.
_
Give him
bind.
treats.
Bass plus
All right,
2 need 2 healers.
Give him a little heart. Oh, he maybe smells it. You don't fuck with a fur pop like that? Oh.
Location. Woodworking.
You almost got it, buddy. Go give it a harder bite. Bite it as hard as you bite my arm. I know you can do it. I have scars to show how hard you can bite. You can do this.
Let's see.
He like doesn't want to commit. Oh, dude, he might have given up. He couldn't break it. Like, look how close he was. He literally almost had it. I'm just gonna put this in his food dish so maybe he can fuck this up himself if he wants to. Tyler bought things for Harvey, but not for the other kids. Tyler seemed to pay much more attention to Harvey than anyone else. This bothered me, so I decided to talk to Harvey to get to know him and understand the situation better. During our conversations, Harvey would often mention going places with Tyler, such as the store. I also noticed they were always sitting together, often holding hands, and sometimes Harvey would sit on Tyler's lap, which seemed strange to me.
There an
The final straw was when I
table
saw
down
Tyler
here?
kiss Harvey on the cheek. Okay, I'm guessing there's a huge twist in here. Honestly, I'm kind of with OP right now. Like, I'm waiting for the devil to kick in. I'm waiting for it to kick in. But low-key, I see this. I am also thinking the same thing. How old are they? I forgot. Tyler is 21. This kid, Harvey, is between 13 to 16 years old. I'm praying that we're missing context and they're, like, related or something. But low-key, if OP doesn't know that, I'm a little bit on OP's side. At that point, I felt I had to do something, so I filed an anonymous report. About 3 weeks later, I noticed both Tyler and Harvey were absent from the group for a while. Then one day, Tyler returned with Harvey, holding his hand. That's when I learned the truth. Tyler is Harvey's older brother and also his caregiver. In essence, Tyler is like a parent to Harvey. I had no idea, and I feel absolutely horrible for falsely accusing someone. I truly thought I was doing the right thing to protect someone vulnerable. I'm posting here to ask what I could have done differently and to understand where I went wrong. I mean, listen, could OP have done a better job at finding out the backstory a little bit more? Probably, but also, I'm seeing this without that context. I may be doing the same thing, bro. I don't know. I mean, they put in the title OP clearly overstepped, but like, I'd much rather have the misunderstanding than do nothing about it. I don't know if I'm cooking with that, chat, but I mean, what if that's the case? I just think stepping in is better. I think stepping in is the right move, just to make sure that kid's safe, even if it's uncomfortable, even if they had to have an awkward conversation. Like, at the end of the day, OP was just doing it because they truly believe that that child was in a dangerous
Wait,
situation. I don't
that's
really
not the
understand
banker.
why we're
This is
calling
the
them
banker.
the devil for that. Like, I'd much rather have someone overstep there than understep. Tyler and Harvey relationship's still creepy. A child shouldn't be between 13 to 16 sitting on their caregiver lap, kissing them on the cheek. Normally, I would say yes, Julianne, but Harvey is autistic and low functioning, which makes me think that they probably act more like a child, which, I don't know, I guess you could argue that maybe that's not the appropriate age to be getting a kiss on the cheek from their parental / brother figure, but I don't know, I feel like maybe I'm not as qualified, what do you call it, like socially acceptable displays of affection towards a family member who has autism, because I've never had to deal with that. I don't think I really can weigh in on that too heavily. Compared to the other devils in that subreddit, this is very tame. That's how I feel, Fiona. I am thinking of divorcing my Japanese wife due to cultural differences.
Jewelry,
Is her attitude really acceptable as a partner regardless of culture? We have a 31 male OP and a 38 female wife. We've been married for a little over a year,
and you are a merchant.
proposed / getting married. Contempt, frequent arguments, and me not understanding Japanese culture to suit her standards as a partner. I'm American living in Japan for 4 years. Today is 12/31 and is a day widely known as house cleaning for families around the country. She didn't once mention this to me the 3 years we've been together, and all those times we never did New Year's Eve cleaning. I told her last night that I was going to go to the gym in the morning, so I would be waking up early to do so. She acknowledged it as I was going to bed earlier than usual. In the morning, I wake up early to finish my chores, walking / feeding our dog, doing and hanging our laundry, and as I'm getting ready to leave, I wake her up to tell her I'm going to the gym, and she says, "Let's go somewhere, it's the last day of the year." I told her I would come home earlier than I had planned so we could do something together. 3 hours later, I call her on my way home and ask her what she wants to do. She says I've been cleaning all morning without my help and I should help her. I rush home so I can help her, and she starts attacking me, saying I don't know Japanese culture and that I should have been helping her clean, when she never once mentioned it to me until after I left home. I tell her, of course, I will help her, and started wiping the windows and cleaning the counters in our home. She continues to belittle me, saying that I don't know the culture and that I should study more about Japanese culture so I can do these things without being asked to. I'm gonna try to word this because I'm not confident on this. I do think, hey, you are in their country. You should absolutely educate yourself on the different cultural, I don't even know what to call this, like norms or holidays or whatever. If you've been there for 4 years, you should maybe
Hello,
have gotten
Greatness
wind
2,
about this.
Zone,
That being said,
WTB
and this is
Hunting's
the
Rage
part where
set
I'm
PM
not
Price.
claiming anything. I'm just thinking, if this was in America and it was a white American trying to tell anybody from another country with diversity, let's say like Mexico or even another Asian country, I think, chat, I'm gonna say I think it would be frowned upon for them to belittle someone and almost pressure them into adopting American cultural things. Am I cooking with that? There is a lot of pressure in American culture to not force people to do the thing that's in their culture. So do we also apply that to other countries? If he's been living alone in Japan until this year, how would he know this? Just generally having friends, I think. I don't know. Like, you are cooking. People should be considerate about the differences in culture, learning more, but also teaching. Okay, Biscuit. I'm glad people are seeing what I'm saying. Guys, we haven't finished the story either, so, like, who knows what's gonna happen, but everyone sucks? That's kind of how I feel. At least so far, I'm a little bit more towards the everyone sucks here. I think if you are in someone else's country, maybe you should get yourself acquainted with the different cultural things that they do, but I also don't think it's right for somebody to, like, belittle someone and yell at them for not understanding and maybe even accepting those cultures when they grew up in a different culture. I'd say he should know more about the culture by now, but also I'd have some grace with someone who didn't grow up in the culture and make sure they are aware next time. Tonya, I think that's a good point. I'm not even sure this is a cultural issue. Help clean with your partner. That's a good point, Blasty Pie. I think for me to die on that hill, though, we need to know if OP is a good husband in general. At least from what we've read so far, we can't make that decision. I think she knows if she asks me to do something, I will 100% do it without questions, but she expects me to know everything, and if I don't, she throws a tantrum and attacks me for not knowing. While I'm mid-cleaning, I tell her she doesn't support me to understand her values since she doesn't communicate them, and when something isn't up to her standards, she takes out her anger on me. It's been a constant theme to our fights and always ending with her saying, "Okay, I won't expect anything from you from now on."
Voidstone.
I've just about hit my wit's end because she compares me to herself or others and puts me down by saying, "I don't think your goals are suitable for you," or "I'm so jealous that her boyfriend does X." I think she is unaware of her feelings of contempt since she could easily say, "I wish we could do this," or "I support you in your decision." I don't think this one is appropriate. Well, I also don't think this one is very appropriate either, because at that point you're pitting your boyfriend against someone else's boyfriend and comparing them when you could just easily be like, "Hey, I noticed that you don't do this. I would really appreciate it if you did this." That's better than communicating via being like, "Oh, I'm jealous of my friend because her boyfriend does this and you don't." This is an interesting one, guys. I don't think am I the devil cooked with this one. When I bring up my feelings about how she makes me feel, she always flips it around saying, "Well, you never do X." It's not that I want to make her feel bad. It's just I can't imagine a world where your soulmate tries to put you down, make you feel small, and not chase after new goals or ambitions you have, and instead compare those things to who I am now and how she feels about me. It's really sad because I love her and believe she can do anything she can put her mind to and support her in everything in life, and she puts me down for not being good enough for things I want to do. This new year, I told her I want to stay home and not go to her friend's party because I feel completely insignificant and not good enough for her. I think she would be happier with a Japanese partner because all we ever seem to fight about is how I'm not good enough. When I bring up how I feel not good enough, she rolls her eyes and says something like, "Here we go again," and completely ignores the fact that she's making me feel this way, thinking it would solve the issue if I just change or do something different. I don't know what to do anymore. If anyone has...
Oh, come on. You let me exit the app before. I guess not today.
What to do anymore. If anyone has been in a similar situation, marriage or divorce, do you think things will get better if we stick it out? I want to communicate and set boundaries on how to prevent arguments like this, but she blocks out anything I suggest and says she won't expect anything anymore when I really think it's impossible for her to. Okay, so the caption was, "I'm a man-child and blame everybody." Listen, is there probably stuff that OP could do better? Yes, I don't disagree with that. I'm not excusing the wife's behavior at all. I think the wife is also toxic as shit. Whether or not you believe that what I brought up about telling somebody who's from a different country that they need to adhere to your country's traditions and cultures or whatever, whether you disagree with that or not, I don't think OP's the devil. I just think everyone sucks here. What did the comments say? He went to the gym for over 3 hours and considered that coming home earlier than he planned. That's crazy, especially on a holiday. Okay, that's what we're focusing on? Like, sure, maybe he could spend less time at the gym. Oh no, he's literally fucking Satan. Okay, did you see his post history? He has 2 other posts in the past year where his wife is clearly frustrated with him and his lack of effort to learn the language and the culture of the country he's been living in for at least 4 years. He's not learned anything since though, so I doubt he'll learn anything now. Okay, Nelly Fish said weaponized incompetence. I could see that. Like I said, guys, I don't think OP is a complete angel by any means, but I also think it's a little bit of a stretch to say his wife isn't in the wrong either. Everyone sucks. That's how I feel, man. I don't think this is black and white. I think this is holy shit, y'all need to go to therapy and figure it the fuck out. I regret every second I cheated on my wife. I cheated on my wife last summer. I was spiraling in depression for years, and towards the end, I started blaming everything on my loved ones, including my wife. My colleague was there. She was understanding and warm. She cared. The guilt was crippling, and I told my wife. I think she was in shock at first, but when it was over, she told me it was over between us. She never shed a single tear or yelled or begged. We have 2 daughters together. My colleague lost all her interest in me gradually, and about 2 weeks ago, she broke things off. I dropped my girls off at their mother's on Sunday. It was the first time I didn't celebrate Christmas with them. My wife looked happy and content. I just realized that she was the bright light in my depression and always has been, and yet I blamed her for feeling shit because I liked the attention of someone else. My wife asked me how I was because I looked depressed. I couldn't tell her anything, just that I was fine, but that it felt weird that this was the first Christmas I was spending alone. I told her that my relationship was over. Her expression didn't change. She didn't even look like she was gloating. She just simply said, "Well, you could always tell her that we are back together if you want a relationship with her." I was taken aback by how calm and sure she sounded. Wait, Chad, can you explain that to me? I don't understand what she was saying there. What? Chad, am I stupid? The wife was saying she was only interested because he was married. Ah, thank you. Really needed that one spelled out for me. Holy fuck. Oh, Okay, now I get it. That's funny as fuck. Good for her. When I got home, I tried it, not because I wanted anything to do with my colleague. I was just curious why my wife would believe that. Since then, she has been sending me tons of texts, warm and flirtatious, asking me if I missed her and if I had the time to meet. I threw my life away for this. The wife kind of fucking ate, bro. Okay, alright. Finally am I the devil's cooking. This is really, truly a devil. But also a devil that got what he deserved? Why am I hard right now, chat? I'm not actually hard, don't worry. I haven't been hard in years. Am I the a-hole for having my daughter watch over her brothers at the mall? I, 45 female, am a mom to 4 kids. JC, 21 female, Kylie, 16 female, James, 8 male, and Jordan, 6 male. Kylie, James, and Jordan are the kids involved with this. Kylie and I had originally planned a mommy-daughter day at the mall, and my husband was going to take James and Jordan to his work for the day. However, once James and Jordan realized we were going to the mall, they begged to come and no longer wanted to go with their dad to his work.
Tasty's
There was
Trading
no
Company.
convincing them.
I farm.
So
Casino
I
has ended.
agreed,
Was
and
fun.
Kylie was
GG
upset
everyone.
because it was supposed to be just us two. There was no convincing them. You're their parents. You shouldn't have to convince them. They should just have to listen to you because you're the parent. Like, tell them no. This
Tasty's
day is
Trading
for
Company.
Kylie. We got to
Illicitants.
the mall,
Great
and I
night
wanted
for
to
me.
check out
GGS.
Bath and Body Works, but James and Jordan wanted to go to the arcade and toy stores. I asked Kylie to take them there so I could go myself to Bath and Body Works. None of my kids can really go in there because they all get migraines from the smells. She tried to argue out of it, but I threatened to take them all home, and I'll tell her brothers it was because of her. Insane threat as a parent. Oh, hey, I know this day was supposed to be about you, but instead, I brought the brothers, and now I'm gonna make you babysit them, and not only threaten to take them home if you refuse to babysit them, but then tell your brothers that it was all because of you. Just fucking insane work. She reluctantly agreed, and I gave them cash to split. I have
Tasty's
to admit,
Trading
I think
Company.
I got much more done
AFS
bringing them all
always
there and having Kylie watch them
8788.
than I would
Perfect
have
end
if
of night
I
event.
only
Great.
brought Kylie and went around with her the whole day. I ended up shopping a few stores and scored some pretty good after Christmas deals. We met up again. Kylie was upset because apparently she wasn't allowed to go into the store she wanted to because her brothers were too loud, and she didn't want to get kicked out. I was already ready to go and didn't want to stay any longer, so I told her we could come back another time. She was upset and wouldn't speak the entire way home. When we got home, she told me she wanted the day to just be for us, and that she didn't have any fun. I told her that life doesn't always go as planned, and told her that I feel the same as a parent going shopping
Tasty's
before she
Trading
matured.
Company.
She is
I
still
farm.
upset with me and
Definitely
thinks
Ty
I
for joining us.
purposely
Had a blast.
sabotaged
Took
our
a loss, but had
mommy-daughter
fun.
day.
Smiley
My husband
face.
said I was an a-hole, but otherwise won't get involved. I mean, this line is crazy. Oh, well, that's how my day is every time as a parent. Yeah, that's because you fucking decided to have kids. You chose that. Don't force that not only on another person, but also on your child, who's still a child, not a parent, not even an adult. I know not everyone relates to this, but it's times when I read stories like this, and I'm like, you know what? My mom kind of grew up a little bit. You know, was she perfect? No. Did she not do shit like this? Yes. Shout out Kathy. We love Kathy. My wife stopped sleeping with me. How far is too far? We have a 33 male OP, 29 female wife. I should probably give a trigger warning here,
Tasty's
just in
Trading
case.
Company.
I haven't
No
actually
empathy.
read this
TTV.
story, but
We had a
based
great
off
night
the
with you
title,
guys.
I'm
Sorry if
guessing
we
it's
were a
gonna
bit
have
slow at
some
times. XD. We heavily
SA talk.
medicated
So if
this
that
time of
triggers
night.
you and you need to leave the live stream or the video, please do so. My wife and I have been together almost 10 years and have 2 kids together. One in elementary school and the other is a toddler. We've been through dry spells before, but to me, this feels different. With our first kid, for the first few years, we definitely took a hit to our love life, but we'd still make it happen at least once or twice a week. However, 2 to 3 years ago, my wife started telling me basically that she felt like I was sexually objectifying her with a lot of my affection throughout the day. Then she started rejecting my advances a lot more, which was apparent and significant to me because I realized in the absence of sex that I was already really the only one initiating. So I intentionally started taming myself down a lot to protect her feelings and bodily autonomy. It was slow and difficult at first, but I realized that when I lowered the amount of physical affection I was giving her, my libido also dropped. This seemed like a win for a while because even though we weren't having sex,
Tasty's
I
Trading
didn't really
Company.
care for it
I farm.
strongly
Next
anyway.
casino night is tomorrow.
But since we
Mini
bought our
Casino
first
4
home
p.m.
about a year
Eastern
and a half
Standard
ago,
Time.
things have been really hard. She complains regularly about not feeling loved or special, so I try to never say no, and I always get her treats and make/order meals so she doesn't have to cook. let her have everything she asks for basically, and started getting her more flowers, etc. But she keeps talking about physical affection. The problem is she seems to genuinely forget and underestimate all the little back and arm grazes of my hands, random hugs and forehead kisses, etc. that I give her all day. So I overcompensate by being even more affectionate, which she seems to enjoy. But I find myself being turned on and having brief moments of arousal throughout the day, which build up to restless nights in bed next to her, where I know she can't be bothered with sex, and yet here I am, unable to sleep or do anything about it. I mean, bro. Like, what are we doing? Oh no, I can't do anything about it except for go into the bathroom and let the kitty swim in the pool, you know? Like, I mean, that's not the right term. I think that means taking a shit. Letting the seed... Jerking yourself off, okay? I can't think of the... We're 4 hours in, chat. You can't expect my brain to be smart right now. Drain the pipe. Thank you, Wolf. That would have been so much more elegant than what I said. That led to a problem where I basically try to cozy up to her in the middle of the night in hopes that she'll be less likely to fight me off? Words you should never use about your partner, let alone your spouse, less likely to fight me off. In response, she stopped sharing the bed with me altogether most nights and prefers to sleep with our toddler, which in the last 12 months resulted in us having sex about 6 or 7 times total. Hey man, I don't think sex is the part of your marriage that's wrong. I think it's you. If your wife wants to sleep in a different bed than you, you're fucking up. Meanwhile, though I've been fortunate enough with genetics that I've largely hidden my age for a long time, I'm starting to notice my hair thinning in the shower, my hairline receding, memory and general cognition declining, my confidence plummeting, which I think is making me feel less masculine and more neurotic and emotionally sensitive. And maybe as a result, my motivation giving away to depression. Years ago, I survived cancer, which gave me a new perspective of life, so I've turned to taking my musical and creative hobbies more seriously, and now I'm getting out of the house more to play gigs and such. What does this fucking have to do with you borderline R-wording your wife? Oh, that's cool. Let's get back to the part about you S-ing your wife. But I'm worried that this is just trading one desire for another, and eventually this lack of intimacy will lead us to breaking up, or worse yet, me cheating.
Even if I don't get
Look,
any
you shouldn't cheat, but I'd much rather have you cheat on your wife than SA her. I'll die on that hill. Cheating is bad, but the other one is illegal and wayward. Holy crap, this guy needs to be taken out back. Not taken out back, taken behind the barn, if you know what I'm saying. Put down. May I recommend castrate? I'm not that person at all, and I've never cheated as I'm very monogamous, and I've always felt sex wasn't as good or fulfilling without a strong emotional connection and lots of trust. I can't believe what I'm fucking reading right now. I just gotta keep reading. This hurts. But there are times lately when I've genuinely wondered if this is right for a healthy young guy / couple, and even thought about trying to find a shady massage parlor just to get off, as even masturbation isn't cutting it for me anymore. Am I screwed? How do I save my romantic life with my wife? Someone added that one of his comments on the post was, to be fair, I guess I crossed a boundary multiple times when I tried to initiate sex while she was sleeping. Yeah, man, that might be the real issue here. I mean, oh, God forbid she doesn't want to give you sex because she's not horny. But, you know, the real problem is that you just can't get off. It's not the fact that you've essayed your wife multiple times. Clearly don't see that as a problem. Chat, we have it. Here we go. The real devil. The devil of the video. Should we start that, chat? Should we start Devil of the Video award? Because this guy fucking wins it. That is disgusting. I want to go take a shower. You're the a-hole. You are the worst human being on the planet. He is already cheating on his wife with his massive and criminal ego. He's in love with himself and even worshiping himself. So his wife and the massage parlor people are probably his sacrificial objects. Yeah, no doubt, Lael. I'm guessing he has a extremely flawed perspective on women and their roles. This is the chat. My wife is just there to be my sex object. Whenever I am horny, she should just have my babies and have sex with me. This guy probably has a sex addiction. I agree, Fury. Or at least just has an unhealthy relationship with sex. Because he did say he was fine for a little bit. Like, especially if you can't just, like, get yourself off with masturbation. Like, and then giving his wife affection made him horny. Like, sir. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I kind of see that. I'm kind of like that. Like, when I give a girl that I love affection, I get a little horny. But it's not like I'm like, oh my god, I'm so horny that I'm going to SA you in your sleep. I could be fully housing a messy plate of chicken wings in my my husband would look at me and be like, damn, girl, bring that ass over here. Yeah, see? Listen, bro, that's how I am. When I'm really attracted to someone, I'm like, bro, you could be shitting. You could be having the most diarrhea-infused shit of your entire life, and I'd be like, but your ass did that? Like, that's how much I'm attracted to people when I'm attracted to them. You know what I'm saying? That might have been a bad take. I said what I said. I would die on that hill. Fiance gave me an ultimatum to get married. I still want to marry him, but he won't give up on it. He's hell. We got a male 37
I farmed
fiance
Zone
and a
Guild.
female
Tasty's
34
trading
OP.
agency is looking
I
for
met
more
Mark,
traders to join our
fiance,
ranks.
3 years ago. It was one of
We're
the hardest
growing,
times of my
and our
life, but
current
he made
store
it
is in
better for me. And I was like,
RAWLKHA.
wow. We got engaged
If interested,
5 months
click
ago,
square
and
for
we're
more
already
info
planning
and
our
to
12
apply.
years made up. Before I met him, I was married to Jared, male 34. We were together since college, and naturally we got married and wanted to settle down. A year into our marriage, I got pregnant and eventually gave birth to a little girl named Lana. I was so overjoyed, as was Jared, and it felt like our family was complete. However, as Lana began growing, I noticed her becoming more attached to Jared than she was to me. She would cry nonstop if I was trying to hold her, but the moment he held her, she'd stop. Her first word was dad, dad, and everything seemed to be for her dad and not me. I'll admit I got a little jealous and was hoping she'd come around to me eventually, but she never did. After 3 years of feeling like I meant nothing for her, I no longer wanted to be around her as it was painful, and I was resenting her. I served Jared divorce papers and signed away my custody to him, agreeing to pay child support since I no longer wanted to even see Lana. I decided to start over, and that's when I met Mark. So let me get this straight. You abandoned your child for not liking you when said child was between the ages of 0 to 2. A time in a child's life where they can't rationally decide whether or not they like you or not because they're a fucking baby. And you were like, it doesn't like me, I'm out. I don't know how anybody would want to marry you after that. Dead ass, I meet the love of my life. She checks all my boxes, and then I hear that she abandoned her child because she was jealous of how this literal baby didn't seem to like her. That would give me the ick. He never knew the full story because he knew I was uncomfortable with talking about it, but he knew I used to be married. He knew nothing about the kid and thought my payments were alimony to Jared. However, he somehow found out, either through one of my friends or Jared contacted him. So far, nobody has fessed up, and Mark won't say. And it's been rough. Mark said that he wants me to try reconciliation with Lana and is upset I abandoned her. He doesn't understand the pain I went through realizing the baby I gave birth to didn't love me and thinks I can just solve this like it's a sitcom and everything can be happy in the end. Mark has given me an ultimatum that either I try reconnecting with Lana or he's calling off our engagement. He says he doesn't want to marry someone who will casually drop her kids over what he thinks is an inconvenience. I don't think Lana even remembers me, honestly, and it'll be too painful for me to try to talk to her again because of all the memories before I walked out of her life. I really want to marry Mark, but I don't want anything to do with Lana. Is there anything I can do to convince him not to push the ultimatum anymore? I mean, girl, you're fucking lucky this guy is giving you an ultimatum. Because I would have just been like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. This would truly be a we fucking woo moment in my head where I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't marry this woman who lied about having a kid when we were about to get married and legally tied together for life, but also abandoned said kid over something that is ridiculous. I'm sorry. If your baby doesn't like you between the ages of 0 to even like 4 or 5, yeah, bro, that child isn't gonna remember that time in your life. They don't know what they're doing. They're trying to remember to breathe. Get over it. And further, hey man, when you have a child, you are, in my opinion, choosing to stick with that child no matter what. Unless you give it up for adoption or something like that, that is your child. If it fucking hates you for no reason, hey, guess what? You decided to procreate. This is posted in r/advice. How can I have a relationship with my granddaughter? My husband and I are 46 and 48 years old and have been married for 28 years. We have 2 sons, Tom, 28, and Nick, 26. Tom got married to his wife, Natalie, 28, in 2020 during the pandemic. We lived in a different state for a few years before moving to another state for my husband's work. Tom had always wanted to move back to what he considered his home state where Natalie lived. He made the 12-hour move alone, despite his father and I objecting, and started dating Natalie pretty much as soon as he moved there. We didn't see much of them and didn't know much about the girl before they got married. She has a degree and a steady job, which is good, and is pretty, which which seemed to be enough for Tom. Sorry guys, I think the timeline on this isn't really explained very well. Like, I think this is all pre them getting married. Like, they moved to another state for the husband's work, then Tom moved back to the state they were previously in.
I'm sorry to hear that.
This is probably in like what, like
Yeah, it kind of depends, like, what I'm doing or where I'm at. Like, I fucking hate Westfield. Or not Westfield. I fucking love Westfield. I fucking hate Vvardenfell. And that's where we're at right now. But I heard there's like, I've been told many times there's a very expensive mushroom out here, so I want to try to get it at least once. But it's so rare. I've been out here for like a week now. At least 2.
Natalie is extremely overprotective and shut down any attempts to travel to us or have us travel to visit after the birth. But Tom says it's because of trauma and to give her time.
So like, when I'm here, it fucking sucks.
So we moved about 30 minutes away from where Tom and Natalie are. Despite us being closer, Natalie still
It is the... Hold on, I have to actually look it up. It is the polyp stinkhorn mushroom. Allegedly worth my buddy, or not, well, he's not my buddy, but my guildie that fucking just found it, sold it for somewhere in the hundreds of millions of gold. He's an SO billionaire, basically. Just because he does this shit, finding, like, rare shit to sell. It's so rare that there's only, like, very, like, minor mentions of this. Yeah. Hi, baby. I'm playing games. What are you doing? Pretty sure you should be in bed, but you know. Nothing. It's just a furnishing, and it's not even a pretty furnishing, from what I've heard. It's pretty fucking ugly. It's just rare. That's the whole reason it was worth so much. Hey, let me see if I can't find us a mushroom around here that kind of looks like it. Alright. It's not this one. Okay, so you see this red one right here? This red mushroom right here. But instead of red, this little tiny strip is purple. That's it. That's the whole furnishing. It's a mushroom that looks like this, except this part, this red part is purple. It is. there's part of me that really wants to fish those holes. And then the other part of me that doesn't fucking want to fish those holes. I just got Void Stone unlocked for my crafting, so like, oh, so the only way for this, I'm sorry, it only spawns from mushrooms, possibly alchemy nodes, but we're not for sure on that one. But it's supposedly any mushrooms, the shroom beetles, but the highest chance is stinkhorns.
Basically saw me as a cotton picker, as they called me. Parents basically. Parents basically.
Where was I? This way.
You could craft something nice with that. I'm with you.
Good to know, Sharp, but there's Ogs. Honestly, I completely forgot that crash weed was a thing until I, like, upgraded my clothing line. Nice one, Sharp. I ain't have to do shit. Alright.
Good to get stocked up.
I think what's really dumb about this game are the fucking players. Sometimes. Cause, like, I tried. I can sell 1 million worth of fish. Okay, that's 3K fish. I can sit here. I can catch 3,000 fish. Right, just fishing. And go to auction and get 1 million. But if I take enough perfect roe to auction for the same amount, which you need to fillet the fish for, which people always bitch about not having perfect row RNG and how like this, that, and the other. So I go to fucking auction with like over 50 perfect row. And when I did the math out, I made sure I stopped and I checked the traders before I went to auction, and nobody wanted a mil worth of perfect row. They're like, yeah, no, we're good. But they'll take 3,000 fish. That is one of the reasons why, like, I don't want to pass up these fishing holes. But at the same time, like, one, fishing, it does not get the views that I wish it would. Because, like, if I could get the views and do fishing, that would be fantastic. That's just not gonna happen.
Useful. Hold on to that.
But like, if I can catch like 200 fish and get 4 perfect row almost every time, which is not normal for like everything I've been told, at least up until I started filleting my own fish instead of just selling the fish for profit, was that you have to fillet 200 fish just to even get one perfect row most people. And it's like, okay, well, I have really good perfect row RNG, so I can just get up a bunch of perfect row faster than I can get up like 3,000 fish. But nope, I was fucking wrong. Nobody wanted to buy my perfect row. Or I feel like the other aggravating thing about auctions is they always like the guild that I am in. I get it, like you guys have friends and stuff, but like they seem to keep the money within the same like set of maybe 5 people. Like if those 5 people had the exact same lots as I had and auctioned it, they would get millions just from the others bidding on them. Because I guess they're just trying to keep the money in this little circle. At least that's what it feels like sometimes. And this isn't like just me saying. I've talked to multiple other people in this guild that have said the exact same thing. I think a bit like my issue, because like I've talked with my buddy about it because I have room for it, but we've thought about making our own guild, and that's just the thing. It's like neither of us actually want to put the effort into running a guild. We just want to be here to play and like make money and not feel like people are hoarding the money for themselves. Or at least, like, I won't say which guild. Alright. Like, oh, now, see, I said that, and I messed myself up, and now I don't remember what it was called. With that.
Building up a stash. Good thinking.
Oh, this is what I was saying. So, my buddy wanted to do, like, an impromptu event, right? Like, it wasn't a planned event. But he plays later in the afternoon because he is a night shift worker. So he is on after 5 o'clock. Like, he doesn't get on until late or early in the morning. And he wanted to do this minor event because they only run the event at like exactly 5 o'clock my time. Alright, I mean, a lot of other guilds do it too, so it's not just, this is not like, it's just them thing. But my one issue is they're doing it at like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I get that that's 6 o'clock for them. But the time that they're doing it is almost exactly at 5 o'clock for everywhere, for the North American servers anyways, okay? I'm not talking about, like, outside of the North American server. And they run them at 5 o'clock. I feel like they would get more people to come if they waited until, like, another hour, until it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If they did that, people would be home, because at 5 o'clock everybody's getting off work at that time, you know, so nobody's around. So if they just like move their auctions back an hour, it would be beneficial to a lot more people, but they don't do that. And I feel like that's not inclusive for everybody, and they're just like, well, if you can't make an auction, just do the auctions in chat. And it's like, well, yeah, but like, that's, I don't know. There's a difference between the auctions and then doing chat auctions. When people are going to the auctions, they're actually going to spend money. If you're just dropping it in guild chat, you're not guaranteed to make your money off of what you're trying to fucking sell. Because, like, unless that person is on exactly when you're fucking advertising the stuff and they're willing to spend more money on your pot because you put something that they want in there, they're just gonna bid low, and you're maybe walking away with 100K. And with the money that a lot of the people make in this guild, it should not be so low, you know, for regular people. Or for the regular guildies that aren't higher ranking. Or like, for the new people, they like hype them up, you know, like they bid high on their first couple of auctions. So you make some money, and then you're like, oh, I want to keep going to these auctions. And then you keep going, and then that's when they stop bidding on your shit as much, and it's like, okay. Well, what's the point of me coming to these auctions then? You know, I haven't seen... Oh, I guess he was on.
Tasty's Trading Company.
Trying
No
to bully
empathy
my
TTV.
friend into
I held this Dark Brotherhood
coming to
questline
talk.
7K bounty guess and fishing. Angry face.
I wonder what fishing do they do?
Tasty's Trading Company, Virtual 96, fun fact. Tasty's Trading Company, Virtual 96, you can play a diff character and the bounty will go down. Tasty's Trading Company, Small Blue Rose, where you fish?
You could craft something nice with that.
Tasty's Trading Company, No Empathy TTV. I fish in diff areas to get the area achievements done as I haven't gotten plat on this character. Nervous face. Tasty's Trading Company, No Empathy TTV. Ty for that tip on diff chars was wondering about that earlier.
I think it's the reach.
Tasty's Trading Company, Small Blue Rose. I've got an op lake fishing spot in the reach if you want.
Let's see what they say.
Tasty's Trading Company, Virtual 96, might have to play single player for a bit. My internet is fucking up. Tasty's Trading Company, No Empathy TTV, there's single player?
Sometimes these people forget that there's just an Elder Scrolls game. Like, it is Elder Scrolls. It's the game that this game is based off of. I'm pretty sure it's it's single player and based off of Skyrim. Yeah.
It's called Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Do you see it? Like,
Tasty's Trading Company, No Empathy TTV, XD. Tasty's Trading Company, No Empathy TTV, Nuke Time Hat.
I don't know if I want to know what she's doing. I mean, I do as a parent. I wanna know what the fuck she's doing in there, but as a parent, I don't know. I don't want to know what the fuck she's doing in there. Hey, my ass gotta clean it up. Probably just a little bit. Yeah, Sharp, I really don't need you to start keeping score, bro. You're like stronger than I am. I feel like that should be something.
Useful. Hold on to that. No such thing as a wasted day, so long as we go fishing.
Skip.
Making my daughter cry at a restaurant. My mom is an influencer and I hate her for it. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she's making me bags? Am I the a-hole for telling my poor friend that he's actually the privileged one now? Am I the a-hole for calling my stepsister the ugly stepsister? Join my side. And in his backstory,
I'm done. No. No, empathy said fishing. That doesn't mean you need to go fishing.
Delete all her social media as a punishment for bullying. Yesterday, I was informed that my daughter Sam was part of a group of students who bullied another girl to the point that she had to switch schools. There were racial aspects to the bullying, which came as a complete shock since my wife and I truly did our best to raise our 3 kids to be kind and honest individuals. I don't believe that a grounding and a confiscation of electronics is harsh enough for what Sam did. So I told Sam that she won't be allowed to participate in poker or tennis in the prom. I hope think I wish she might become more smart. In a lot of ways, she might blame that person that pregnancy to become more angry. There needs to be more. There needs to be education behind the racism. I'm a firm believer that bullying stems from something like internally or like happening at home. So maybe like therapy would be a good thing. Not the able. This seems appropriate to the level of offense here, especially the deletion of social media accounts. That said, the school year is just about to start, and prom isn't until April/early May. Create a plan of restorative actions she can take to earn back prom. These actions can include volunteer service, befriending someone who is an outcast in her school, cultural sensitivity classes, and, if possible, something that can positively impact the girl she bullied. Yeah, that is a much better put way of what I said. I don't know, though. Do you think this is genuine? If the kid is poor, she can earn it back? Raising a teen means there have to be serious consequences for serious actions, potentially teaching them how to behave in the right way, and that requires a loss. I actually agree with that. That's actually a good point that I didn't think of. My DA for telling my son he can't stay with me when I found out why his wife kicked him out. My daughter-in-law is pregnant with my first grandchild. She is suffering from prenatal. She's on bed rest. It would be dangerous for her to have sex. So my a-hole son decided that he should cheat. She found out and kicked him out of the house. He came to stay with us because she was having crazy pregnancy hormones. Every time he called her, they would fight. After a couple days, we told him to go see if she calmed down. Her mom was staying with them, so we weren't worried about her. My wife called her to check in on her and found out the truth. I was very upset. When he got home from work, I told him he needed to get out of my house. He wasn't someone I wanted to associate with at the moment, and it would be best if he wasn't near me. My wife tried to say that I was being too hard on him, that I should just give them a chance to work things out. I can't even look at him. I don't want such a stupid boy in my house. My wife and I are still fighting about it, but I am willing to die on this hill. You're gonna cheat on your wife because she is literally bleeding from the baby that you put in her?
You should have loved them.
Because she is literally bleeding from the baby that you put in her? What? Yeah, I have to applaud this dad. I do have to say the way he talked about his son and someone's stupid actions without really laying into them. Not saying that he shouldn't, but like I would feel bad if my dad was talking about me the same way. Maybe the dad could tone back the amount that he's like attacking the kid, but definitely not the a-hole. I definitely think it's better for him to hold the kid accountable, and he's a good dad for that. The only way that I can see the dad being an a-hole is if the son had come to him and said, this is exactly why she kicked me out, is because I was cheating on her, and showing remorse, but it doesn't seem like he's showing any remorse in him saying she was having crazy pregnancy hormones. He's not taking accountability for their actions at all. I can't believe Oakley's wife is saying he's being too hard on his son, like his son isn't being too hard on his wife, who is currently pregnant, mind you, by cheating. The selective outrage is
Building
astounding.
up a
It does
stash.
sound like she's kind
Good
of being
thinking.
like, oh, it's my baby boy. Am I the a-hole for not forcing my son to rename his hamster? My son is 11 and has been begging for a family pet for a while. I finally gave in when I felt we were ready to take one on, and also when I felt he was ready for the responsibility that comes with one. I expected a dog or a cat, but he really wanted a hamster. So we spent a little over a week prepping, helping him study hamster care, and dedicated a sizable spot in our living room for necessities and home. We finally got around to picking one out at the pet shop. He set on the name Sonic, but the lady ringing us up mentioned the one he picked out was a girl, and that she could get him a boy if he wanted. And he just lit up and said, that's Amy. And that was that. We took Amy home. My sister-in-law found out she was pregnant somewhere around that time, and last month they found out they were having a girl. Basically what happened was they were picking out names, and one of the names they narrowed it down to had Amy as the middle name. I made a joke with something like, hey, we already have an Amy at our house. Trying to be funny, my sister-in-law didn't think it was. I didn't think much about it at the time, but a couple days later she decided to talk. I started off by saying the joke I made was in bad taste. I apologized for it, and then she suggested I change the
Stay
name. I
ready.
told her I didn't think
Never
that would
know
go
what
over
else
well
you
with my
might be
son,
able to
and then
play.
she outright demanded it be changed, whether he likes it or not. We're going to have a child share the name with the hamster. I agreed to talk it over with my son to see what he thought, but of course he didn't want to. He even thought it was cool that his cousin would share her name with his hamster. I tried convincing him to rename her Sonic even, or some other Sonic character, but he didn't want that. I explained how sister-in-law feels about this, and he felt a bit hurt because he thought he upset sister-in-law, but he really didn't want to change the name and didn't understand why they couldn't just shut. I told sister-in-law that my son was wasn't a huge deal. It's not like anyone is going to make the connection, and by the time her child is old enough to know her name, Amy the hamster likely won't be around. She claimed it was embarrassing because she would always know the connection in her mind, which I simply told her if it was such a strong reminder of a hamster, then maybe it wasn't a name she could use for her daughter. My brother has told me that I'm being selfish for not forcing my son to pick another name. Sister-in-law thinks I'm the a-hole, and my mom said the whole thing is I wasn't aware of like what my middle name was until I was probably like 10. And by that time, that hamster's gonna be long gone. It's such a waste of OP's name is posed, but it's hilarious. Amy's in a bunch because of a hamster named Amy. Am I the a-hole for overreacting after my wife lied about her baby's gender?
Bloodrose, Jimmy_Skulls, welcome.
Female are expecting our first child. Background: my childhood was a tumultuous one. Growing up, I always craved a strong male figure in my life. I never had that bond with my father and always envisioned having it with my son. My wife was aware of this deep-rooted desire. During
Bloodrose, tin_0NESH0T, welcome.
Draining are critical since I'm the only breadwinner trying to ensure a different life for my child than I had. In my absence, my wife and her adopted mother attended the checkups. Upon my return, she excitedly told me we were having a boy. We invested emotionally and financially of new nursery, boy-themed items, even naming him after my late grandfather. However, a chance remark from her mother disclosed we're having a girl. My wife admitted she knew from the beginning, but she didn't tell me, thinking she was protecting my feelings. I was devastated, feeling the weight of past hurts and fresh betrayals. In my pain, I cleared out the nursery, and in a moment I regret, I told her mother she wasn't welcome at upcoming family events, seeing her as part of the deceit. I acted out of deep-seated emotions and past
Tasty's
traumas.
Trading Company, Pagubandum, anyone down for White Gold Tower N?
I responded, maybe I'm a bad person for this, but like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is so pointless to me. I don't think Oak Tree's the a-hole. Can he be less emotional? Emotional? Yeah, obviously we never had a kid, and it sounded very important to him, but like, bro, we're still having a daughter, which is also pretty cool.
Tasty's Trading Company, Dave_X_West. Sure, 1 second though.
Come out that you are having a girl, respectfully but also disrespectfully, like, is your wife stupid? Genuinely, like, what was she thinking? I don't think the husband's an a-hole. Just like, suck it up, bro. Go to your wife and be like, that was stupid. Why would you do that? You can always try having another kid. That could be a boy. I don't know. Well, let's see.
Tasty's Trading Company, Pagubandum, much appreciated.
It's painful for you to think you were having a boy and then disappoint you later. Getting your hopes up accomplishes nothing. That said, you very much did overreact to clearing out the nursery and disinviting her mother from coming over. Wasn't it necessary for them to clear out the nursery? Like, they would have to eventually. It was boy-themed, but they're having a girl. Maybe disinviting the mother from coming over?
Cute.
I guess that's not the appropriate way. Is he not allowed to be obsessed with I feel like he should focus more on anger at the wife. This reaction is crazy, and you talking about this pain and devastation surrounding having a girl is probably the reason she was afraid to tell you. Because she probably wants to be excited about this child and didn't want to deal with you acting like this meaning that it's a girl. He didn't say, I don't want a girl, or that there's pain and devastation around it. He just said, I wanted a boy. My reality was that I was going to have a son, and then I learned that you lied to me. Also, you were projecting way too much on an unborn child. What if you did have a boy, but he wasn't as interested in this intense father-son relationship that you were craving? Can any real-life father-son relationship actually even live up to the one in your head that is supposed to heal your past wounds? Okay, that's actually a valid point. I don't think this person sounds like they would be a bad parent. It just sounds like they like have this idea of like a perfect relationship with their son that they didn't have with their father when they were a child, and that's like what he's grieving almost because he like emotionally came to this idea that he's going to come out and make it worse. Yeah, I think that's why I can't get around OP being in the wrong at any point, because this would have just not happened if the wife didn't lie. Not the a-hole, the wife is the a-hole. I'm gonna stick with that. Am I the a-hole for telling my family how much my fiance earns after years of them making fun of his job? My family is very well educated and full of professionals, including several doctors, surgeons, dentists, etc. I have a good career and make a good construction company. I was shocked that his construction earnings is as much as my dad's surgeon salary. Gradually, he took me around to the handful of construction lots and shopping centers he owns. His rental income combined with his construction earnings is double that of my dad's. He said that few people know about his finances and he expects me to keep what I know to myself. My parents disapprove of him since the first time I brought him home. My dad coined the term tool boy, and the rest of my family joined in whenever they talk behind my fiance's back. They don't call him that to his face, but instead make snide remarks. Once, my mom said during dinner that they're thinking about hiring someone to mow their lawn, then turned to my fiance and asked him what he charges. I always try to defend him, and it's a constant battle. It's gotten worse since we're planning our wedding, and the other day, my nerves just broke. Yesterday, my parents were trying to get me into getting a prenuptial. Then my dad said, you have to protect your assets, just in case Tool Boy decides to go slumming. I lost it and yelled at my parents. During our shouting, I blurted out his earnings and that he makes more than both of them combined, and then I stormed out. I told my fiance what happened. He got mad at my parents. I argued that I was defending him, then we got into an argument. My parents and family are
so
mad at me
soon.
for keeping secrets. My fiance is mad at me for not keeping secrets. I'm stuck in the middle.
Tasty's Trading Company, Dave_X_West, okay, INV.
He said that few people know about his finances and he expects me to keep what I know to myself. That's super important and I understand that. But this is where like my personal opinions might come in. I think because at the end of the day, OP was not given permission to disclose her fiance's finances like that. However, I do have to say this relationship between the parents and a future in-law is not healthy, and the fact that they don't have respect for them is a huge problem. What should have been done is OP should have explained to her fiance, like, we need my parents to take you more seriously, and the way that that's going to happen is they understand that you are not a little rogue boy like you think. You're actually...
Maybe you're wondering if you're ready.
And the way that that's going to happen is they understand that you are not a little rogue boy. Has a relationship with their parents, so it's important that they think highly of the fiance, and the way that they'll think highly of the
You could
fiance is
craft
to know
something
that
nice
if he
with
makes
that.
bank, well, I would go with everyone sucks here the most. The fiance, in my opinion, kind of sucks. There's no way the fiance didn't know that this is how the parents thought of him, and if he doesn't care how his like future in-laws think about him,
Tasty's Trading Company, Lil Housewife, LF Tank and DPS Random Norm.
do that is just to be like, hey, I actually make more money than you. And that's really all you have to say. Like, I think you're an a-hole for that. And then I think the parents are a-holes. Like, there's more to relationships and life than just, like, how much money somebody makes. In a lot of ways, I think Opie's the only not a-hole. They wouldn't be the a-hole if they weren't put in this rock and hard place. My a-hole for not moving into the property my parents gave me so that my golden child's sister, her husband, and kid can move in. My 34 female sister, 31 female, was the first among
Tasty's Trading Company, Pineapple___808_hex.
extended family, and my parents bend over backwards for my sister's requests, like canceling their anniversary trip because my sister asked to babysit while she goes on a girls' weekend. This spring, my boyfriend and rock in my life passed away. At the same time, I lost my job. I had a lot going on and moved back to my hometown. My parents own a rural property they used to rent out. The property had been empty for a while and fairly run down. My parents invited me to stay there rent-free and told me it was my home for as long as I needed. I invested a lot of my time and money, found a remote gig, into getting the house fixed up. I also made friends with Olha, a Ukrainian refugee with a young daughter. Olha was struggling, and I invited her to stay with me for a couple of months while she gets back on her feet. I could use company as well. My parents had no issue with this. Also, recent drama, my brother-in-law had been working for a shady company which skirted regulations for profit. The law had caught up with the owner, who folded the company and left the country. My sister's family abruptly moved to our hometown, moving in with my parents. Almost immediately, my parents and sister approached me to swap. I move in with our parents and sis and her family take my place. They said the house I lived in was too large for one person and it'd be so much better for my niece to live on such a beautiful property in nature. I didn't understand. My parents have 2 guest rooms. My sister/brother-in-law and the kid have their own bedrooms. I sure didn't have 5. My brother-in-law is still loaded from his old job and can easily get the boys, thereby in flashing costs. When I mentioned my old property, it was dismissed. When I reminded them of my old home, my parents were outraged I was still intent on helping someone else and their child and not my own sister and niece. They kept making out my sister's situation to be nearly as bad as Olha's. Eventually, Eventually it came down to my parents saying, you're living on our property, you'll do as we want. I said, well, you gave it to me and said this was my house as well, to be my home for as long as I need it. But if we want to talk in property terms and not family terms, evict me then. My parents are not evicting, but I receive daily calls and messages from them and extended family guilt-tripping me and calling me an able for not giving up on the more comfortable space to my sister, who is in such a difficult situation and has a little child. Only my brother sees young men in college their opinions. It sounds like they're trying to implement like a lot of like family responsibility, but not a lot of like family values. I think there is a way to work this around so that everybody is accommodated, but also no one feels like someone is being prioritized. But I think just the start, from the beginning, from the title, there's a lot of resentment between OP, the parents, and this sister that is muddying finding an actual solution for this instead of you said, and he said, she said. I feel like with my family, if we were in this situation, we would figure out something that would work for everybody, and people would be willing to make sacrifices here and there. I honestly think it would be a good thing if the sisters had to live together and like get along, mend that relationship. I do think everyone sucks here just because I'm a sucker for a good family relationship. Everyone just sounds
Darkful Wolfie, Zone. Anyone willing to help me get SO Gold Road Deluxe DLC, I will pay 12 million gold whisper.
His boyfriend died and they lost their job. Those in combination are harder to recover from than the situation that the brother-in-law and sister are in. Granted, I guess they have a kid, but this section here is very telling me. The brother-in-law is loaded, could easily get them a place, but they're spending that money on a flashy car. And they feel entitled to this free place from the parents that would require kicking out their sister. I still think everyone sucks here. If we were gonna rank the a-holes, I would put sister and brother-in-law, parents, OP. Can we start doing that? Rank the a-holes. Am I the a-hole for checking out of parental duties after my wife said I'm not the father? Drama. My wife and I have been married for about 4 years. She brought 3 kids from previous relationships into the marriage while I have none. They moved into my house after the marriage because I live in a better school district. Obviously, we've had our ups and downs, but overall, it's been good until a couple of weeks ago when I... Overall, it's been good until a couple of weeks ago when I woke up and found a large dent running down the entire passenger side of the car. The dent is about a hand's wide. It starts at the front of the fender and runs down all the way to the rear tire. I was furious and thought someone sideswept my car as it was parked in the street. I checked our doorbell camera to see if it reported anything and was surprised to see our 16-year-old daughter sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night and driving off in my car. She later returned hours later, stumbling into the house. Outside of those 2 events, the doorbell camera didn't report anything else but a couple of passing cars that didn't come close. I angrily showed my wife the reporting and told her our daughter needs to be punished, but she said they didn't have to. I argued that talk isn't enough, which led us into an argument. My wife argued that the new family dynamic has been hard on the kids, while I argued that it doesn't excuse the damage done to my car. I wanted her to agree to ground our daughter from social media and make her get a job to pay for the damage. We argued for hours until she said I don't get a say in any punishment because I'm not her father. That ended the argument and I walked off. Since then, I've checked out of any parental duties. I've been an adult and still make sure the kids are safe and fed, but I haven't done anything a father would do. They had doctor's appointments last week for their checkups because they play sports at school, and I refused to drive them, causing my wife to have to take off work. They start school next week, and I've dropped them off ever since they moved in, but I told my wife she'll have to do it this year. She argued she can't because of her work schedule, and I answered a mother would figure it out. She called me a child and to grow up. I think since I'm not the father, I don't have to take on the responsibilities of one, but she obviously disagrees. My wife wants me to report it to my insurance as a hit and run. She said that way no one has to pay for it. I argued that I'll have to pay for it in the long run because they'll jack up my rates. I'm not ignoring the kids, and I
Blood
still
Rose,
talk to them
Jimmy
daily.
_Skulls,
I don't do or make
howdy.
any parental decisions like I stated above. Also, the other day, our son asked me if he should play basketball or football, and I told him to go ask his mother. I don't think OP is the a-hole, but I think their reaction was wrong. When you get married to someone and you know they're bringing kids in the relationship, you're kind of just going to assume a fatherly role, whether you like it or not, and you can't just like run away from it. 2 big things here. Number 1, the wife is 100% in the wrong. She almost seems to be like covering the fact that 16-year-old daughter might have drank and drove. Poor parenting. Like, just because the daughter's having a hard time doesn't mean she can't take accountability for actions that are very wrong, very dangerous. I think this is also a problem in general. Like, hey, before you get married, have this conversation. If your kid does something and I want to punish them, what are we going to do about it? Because I think that should be something you decide before you get married. If anything, everyone sucks here, not because of the actions in here, but everyone sucks here because they didn't figure this out beforehand. And even maybe have that conversation with the kids. Everyone sucks here. Yeah, like it's wrong. She needs to stop taking the daughter's side and make her take responsibility. But using that to make it worse, especially on the other kids that has nothing to do with it. That's a very good point, Jules. It's honestly actually worse that he's taking it out on the other kids that aren't a part of it. Really, he only has a problem with one of the kids. Insurance fraud is a crime. Don't do it. Also, you had better report the theft of your car and the accident to the police. She obviously hit something with it, and there's a good chance a camera somewhere recorded your car and it can be tracked back to you. Then I think you should separate. Her daughter committed at least 3 serious crimes: auto theft, drunk driving, and a hit and run. She has put you at risk of being sued and possibly arrested. You can't live in a home where the behavior isn't dealt with. Wife and daughter are a-holes for obvious reasons. You are an a-hole for not taking this seriously enough. You're playing petty games about basketball and rides to school when there's a criminal in the house and her mother is enabling it. What else is she up to that you don't know about? That is a fantastic point. I don't know if Opie's an a-hole, but Opie's stupid for getting themselves in this situation. If OP goes to their wife and is like, I want to say in this, I want to be able to punch this kid properly by reporting all these things, and the mom says no, cut your losses and separate. I find it funny when Reddit tells people to break up or divorce, like it will solve everything. I don't know if they should break up or divorce, but he definitely needs to like put his foot down and be like, I get a say in this. Yes, I think it is extreme for somebody on an internet forum to be like, get a divorce. But also, maybe they shouldn't have been together in the first place. That's just like a normal single person with no kids, no previous marriages, gets married to somebody who's similar. Like, you're not bringing in all those different variables. Versus, like, if it's this, where one person is bringing in, like, 3 kids from possibly 3 different dads, you need to talk about what that's going to look like before you actually dive right into it. Am I the a-hole for calling my 8-year-old selfish? I have 3 kids, 7, 8, 10, and my sister has 2, 7 and 10. We went on a vacation together recently, and we took the kids to a zoo that also had a few rides. The kids went on the rides while my sister and I got coffee nearby. We told them to meet us at a certain table when they were done. My 8-year-old came to me much earlier than her siblings/cousins. I asked if the ride scared her, and she said no. She just skipped the lines. I asked for clarification. She said when there was extra space on the ride, they asked for single riders to come up to the front, so she did that for all 5 rides. I told her the point of her going with her siblings and cousins is to have fun with them, and that it was selfish for her to walk so she could cut the line. I told her I understand why she doesn't have many friends. Oh my god! I told her I understand why she doesn't have many friends, and this is how she acts all the time, and she started to cry and ran to my sister. That is insane, dude. That's the craziest part, bro. Not that you called your 8-year-old selfish. That you were like, you know, this is probably why you don't have friends. My sister ended up buying her ice cream and said that I was too harsh. She told my husband, and he's mad at me for speaking to her like that. Yeah, you are definitely the a-hole. I don't think there's any argument there. I don't think it's selfish. I think it is weird not to just like wait with your cousins, but like low-key, it's a little smart. She's like, bro, I don't care if I go with you guys. It's just like kid brain. They're like, oh, I can ride these faster if I just not ride with them. If the 8-year-old had done something that was like truly selfish and needed a call out, I could maybe understand that. But this is not how you talk to them. On the next Tycoon Island.
I want to trade stickers with you, but can I trust you? I can tell you. Tycoon Water.
To an 8-year-old. This right here. Also, how about that's awesome you feel so confident in choosing to go solo. I think that's great. Am I the a-hole for not babysitting my wife after she got super drunk? My wife and I were on vacation in a foreign city. We met up with some friends, went out to dinner, and then hit the bars. And I got fairly tipsy/borderline drunk. Out of nowhere, my wife decides it's time to go all out and informs me that it's her turn to get drunk. Problem was, I'm already tipsy/drunk. LMAO. Then she just disappears. We sent a female from the group into the bathroom to find her. That was the assumption. But no, my wife vanished to the bar and proceeded to down 12 shots of Fireball whiskey and some flavored vodka. Seems well until 2 a.m. rolls around and the hotel phone starts blaring. As I'm groggily trying to figure out what's happening, I get out of bed and I realize my feet are literally wading in water on the carpet, 2 inches deep. She passed out in the shower, not the bathtub, shower only, and her ass perfectly blocked the drain in the floor. It ended up flooding our entire hotel room and leaking out into the hallway and into someone else's room. Presumably called the hotel staff. We managed to get ourselves dressed. Hotel staff comes up to talk, and we're shuffled to a new room without a watery carpet. No real consequences, and we're not charged any fees. But here's the crux of the issue. My wife turns around and blames me for the entire circus. Apparently, I should have been more attentive and made sure she got out of the shower. She said she was okay, sounded coherent at this point, and I was drunk AF too. I guess I would get it if she didn't spring this on me after it was too late for me not to drink. Maverick just says RIP to her liver. Yeah, dude, I'm surprised she didn't get alcohol poisoning. At the end of the day, this is 100% and everyone sucks here. The wife sucks because she didn't let him know earlier that she wanted to just completely obliterate herself. Unless the husband is over-exaggerating and she didn't actually take 12 shots and she wasn't as drunk as they're explaining, which sounds like she was as drunk as they're explaining. I think the husband's the a-hole. The water on the floor is probably like the least worst situation of what could happen. If everything they're saying is true, they're so drunk that you cannot leave them alone. You cannot expect them to be able to handle themselves. They're honestly lucky that the worst that happened was they flooded their hotel room. This could have easily ended up in OP waking up and their wife had suffocated on their own puke. So I think OP's the a-hole because yes, they were drunk, but they should have identified this as a situation of like, I need to make sure my wife is okay. You can stay awake to just make sure this person doesn't choke on their own vomit. Is it all OP's fault? No, but I still think OP's an a-hole for it. Am I the a-hole for free bleeding at my mother-in-law's house? To start, free bleeding is essentially not wearing any form of protection on your period, so you are bleeding freely. Clues in the name. I'm currently staying at my mother-in-law's house with my husband for a family get-together. 6 birthdays in 1 week. I have horrifically painful periods and bad mobility. I cannot use cups, and I am allergic to all brands of pad I've used. Rashes on all genitalia, which does not feel good. I do have cloth pads, but I only brought a couple small ones for my trip, as I wasn't due one until days after we got home. But we're on day 4 of our trip, and I started my period on our first night. I tried to use some of those disposable pads I picked up, but I broke out in a rash, and I have blisters everywhere they should not be. So 2 days ago, I decided to say, what the hell, and free bleed like I do at home. I bring my own towels to my mother-in-law's, so I have been sitting and sleeping on those. I have bled through twice, but cleaned the mess and left no stain. My mother-in-law is pissed off to say the least. She's disgusted by my lack of decorum and carrying my bloody towel around everywhere. She also hates that I'm washing them in her machines and is now saying we need to pay to have them professionally cleaned, which we will do. I mean, what color are these towels? Like the fact that the mother-in-law knows means you're not doing a good job. If you're gonna do this, that's fine. It doesn't sound like they bled on anything. It doesn't sound like the mother knows, other than the fact that you're just doing a horrible job at hiding it. Get a red towel and just be a little bit more discreet about it. Everything came to a head last night when she lost it on me for behaving like an animal. She wants me to leave, but my husband to stay, which isn't possible. One car, I can't drive that far, especially not with the amount of pain I'm in. My husband is on damage control, but I just feel so shitty. I understand that it's not super sanitary, but my health matters more than some bed sheets. I'll replace them if she wants. I'm close to just gritting my teeth through the pain and putting a pad on, but I really don't want to. I don't want open sores down there when we're driving home. Am I the a-hole? I feel like I'm choosing the lesser of 2 evils, but now I don't know. I do have cloth pads, but I only brought a couple small ones. What is a cloth pad? And is that something that you could just like run to Target for? That's the key to my decision. Cloth pads. Let me do this Google search real quick. Yeah, reusable 5-piece bundle for heavy flows. Wait, if they're reusable, what's the problem? Maybe I'm reading this wrong? I do have cloth pads, but I only brought a couple small ones for my trip as I wasn't due. They're reusable pads for her to be discreet with. Jules, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand, like, why, if they're reusable cloth pads, why aren't you just reusing them? Yeah, she should be using those and not carrying around a towel all over the house in front of her mother-in-law. I want to clarify, I want to be
Looks good, baby.
sympathetic, because, like, girls don't
You did a good job.
get to choose to bleed. They just do. It happens. And I normally would be like,
Different. Approach, Pathwalker, and speak with me.
Bro, the level
A
2 sword is
mortal
already
cup.
getting overrun. I gotta take these guys out. Build this crossbow tower as fast as possible. I don't even think I have a
Control.
choice. Quickly.
Control.
Well, that was close, but that should
Most
take care of things.
mortals
Wait, never mind, more guys. I
as
should have saw that
curious
coming.
as you.
Anyway, we can't handle this without a second crossbow tower.
When she
Maybe a wall to
drinks
block the enemy's
Sage's
path
dream,
too. That should hold us. Wait, now we have these big leapers coming? When does it end? This is King Shot, a tower defense and base building strategy game that just came out recently and is already top 5 in strategy games with over $1 million. King Shot combines strategy, exploration, resource management, PvP, and PvP battles, plus a whole lot more. I suggest you give it a try. If you think you have a shot at becoming a king, that is.
Be sympathetic to it, be accommodating to it, but this just sounds like OP has solutions, but they're choosing the absolute worst one. In terms of hygiene, it is disgusting. And the mother-in-law has a right to be like, yo, bro, that's gross. Either hide it better, or, I don't know, use the reusable cloth pads. I still don't understand this. Like, I don't understand why they can't use the cloth pads. You're the a-hole. This is completely unsanitary and disgusting to do in someone else's home. You do have options you know can work. We are not panties. Period suppression is also an option with contraceptives for the future. Free bleeding in someone else's home is never an option. The better option would have been to leave, and if your husband needed to leave in order to facilitate that, that's fine. One of us have choices of entitlement to spill their biohazard.
Easy.
That is crazy. That is so wild. To spill their biohazard all over someone else's home and property, absolutely wild. Am I the a-hole for choosing my wife over my sister's wedding? The fact
Huh?
that my wife, Alex,
Love you.
and I,
Okay.
have been together for 4 years now, and we've been married for 2 years. Alex has an anxiety disorder and depression. In addition, she is also a recovering alcoholic and has been sober for 5 years. Even with everything, she's an amazing person, and I love her with all my heart. Alex has been really stressed this last month, as she had to take on the workload of a coworker who went on maternity leave. She had been in office 8+ hours every day, and even when she was home, she often used that time to catch up on work. The overworking caught up to Alex mentally, and she had a nervous breakdown so bad that we considered hospitalization. But even after we got through the worst of it, Alex was still not doing great. This wasn't a problem until Alex told me that she probably wasn't going to be up to Jamie, my sister's wedding over the weekend. In all, my sister's wedding would have been a 3-day trip for us, as I was supposed to be the one. Oh my God, she was supposed to be one of the maids of honor. She planned to have 2, so we would have spent an additional day in her city to help with the preparations the day before. That, along with the fact that there would be an open bar at the reception of her wedding, meant that it really wouldn't have been a great situation for Alex to be in. So I was supportive of Alex making the decision to not attend. However, after thinking about it, I came to the conclusion on my own that I didn't feel comfortable going to Jamie's wedding if it meant leaving Alex at home alone, knowing what she was going through. To be clear, Alex was not doing well. I called Jamie on Thursday, 2 days before, to tell her what was going on, apologize, and explain Alex and I were not going to be able to attend her wedding this weekend.
Bloodrose, tin_0NESH0T. I welcome.
Accused Alex of manipulating me and told me that Alex should be able to take care of herself. She said that I'm being unbelievably selfish and ended the call telling me not to expect her to forgive me anytime soon. I haven't spoken with my sister in 5 days now, and her wedding already passed. I'm glad I didn't go to her wedding because I felt better knowing that I chose to support Alex. She's doing a lot better now. While I stand by my decision to be there for
Bloodrose,
Alex,
the real
and she
two-phase.
over
Hello
Jamie,
to
I
everyone.
can't help but wonder if I did the right thing here. It's one thing to miss a wedding that is just like, you know, a friend of a friend's wedding. It's another thing to miss your sister's wedding. And then on top of that, it's another thing to miss a wedding that you're a maid of honor for. That is insane. This right here, too, accused Alex of manipulating me, might kind of hint to potentially OP's wife not being very good. And that the family doesn't like that. Oh, you're worried about Alex being alone? Based on the one comment I saw from OOP, Alex didn't ask OOP to skip their wedding. It's convenient that as soon as the wedding is over, Alex is feeling better again. I have a feeling there is much more backstory to this. More of the story here, what I find strange is that Alex got right before the wedding and seems to be doing better right after the wedding. I do usually agree that you choose your family sometimes. When you were the maid of honor here, I can't judge without more info, but it sounds like potentially you're the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother that it isn't my wife's job to clean his car? Last week, my wife, Emily, female 36, and I, male 38, and our son, Ian, male 4, were invited by my parents, female 65 and male 68, to have dinner at their house. My younger brother, Josh, male 34, was also invited. Since Josh and I live in the same city, about a 45-minute drive from our parents' house, he offered to drive me and my family. Josh has been really excited to show us his new car, a Kia K5.
All Ethelias are fragile creatures. They break under the slightest pressure. My shard orc got you. Whether you intend it or not is humiliates me even more.
This would be an excellent
Azura's
opportunity. The
lamp
day before we were supposed to go, both
accepted.
Emily and Ian got a little
When
bit of
word
food
arrived,
poisoning, so they were
Morris.
feeling a bit ill. Emily hinted that she might want to stay home
This
with Ian, but I
reflection
convinced her to
seems
come along
resounding
as
to
I
her
thought my
fate.
parents would be upset if they didn't come. The
different
morning of the
from
trip,
I
yesterday,
saw
Josh
her
arrived
broken
on
doorway.
schedule and we were off.
Let us
Josh is a
return to
slow
the
driver
inn
and
cellar.
stopped a few times at Emily's request, so Ian could get some fresh air and use the restroom. This turned our 45-minute drive into a 70-minute one. I was getting a little frustrated with Emily as I had reminded her to make sure Ian used the restroom before we left. She forgot, and I had work-related tasks on my laptop to attend to once we arrived at my parents' house. I don't like this. Hey, it's your responsibility and yours alone to make sure our son does something. Okay. As we pulled up to our parents' house, Ian began to feel even more nauseous. While Emily and I were unloading the trunk, he vomited inside the car. Josh took him out of his child seat, and as he carried him towards my parents' house, Ian vomited on Josh again. Emily went inside with them to take care of Ian, and I brought the rest of our belongings into the house. My mom was concerned about Ian and asked me about it. When I mentioned how both he and Emily were not feeling well, she became upset with me and told me that they should stay home and recover. About 30 minutes later, I was on the porch working on my laptop. Josh came out of the house, he was crying and said he was going to clean his car and seemed a bit annoyed. So I told him that the kids can be messy sometimes and that they couldn't be held accountable for situations like this. He said that he of course didn't blame Ian, but that he would appreciate some help cleaning up. I responded that Emily couldn't be expected to clean as she was ill. He said he didn't plan on asking her how she was doing, that I should be the one helping him. I explained that I was busy with work and couldn't assist. He appeared frustrated and started walking away. To ease the tension, I made a joke suggesting that he was acting like his car was some fancy European model and not just a Kia. He didn't say anything, just shook his head and put on his AirPods. Later, I told Emily about this interaction and how Josh was acting strange. She said that she thought I was being overly harsh. My intention wasn't to be rude, but I felt that Josh was being too pushy and I the a-hole. Bro, it's your kid. Your kid made the mess. You clean up the mess. I told him that kids can be messy sometimes and that they can't be held accountable in situations like this. That's true, but here's that one line from parents. As much as I laugh about the Kia thing, I'm not a big fan of Kias. But it seemed like the mother was really excited about the car, and for you to not only have your family member make the car disgusting, not help clean that up when honestly it is your responsibility to clean that up, and then to make a joke that his car actually wasn't fancy, like that's just like salt in the wound. Everything about how OP wrote this is rubbing me the wrong way, even how he like talked about his wife, even suggesting that like it was Emily's responsibility to help him clean in the first place. No, I think it's total sexist situation a little bit here, where it's like, oh, it's the wife's responsibility. Jules, I think you're spot on. I think OP is like kind of misogynistic, probably like egomaniac, narcissist. You're the a-hole for not cleaning up the mess. You're the a-hole for whining that the drive was taking longer with 2 sick people in the car, and you're the biggest a-hole for making your sick wife and sick child go to dinner at your parents' house so you guys make sure of a stomach virus. Now call your brother and apologize. Then get him a gift certificate to have his car professionally cleaned after you put your sick child in it needlessly. Apologize to your parents for bringing sick people over. Apologize to your wife for forcing her to leave her house sick. And apologize to your son for the sake of wandering aimlessly night, laid their entire dick on the table, and I respect it. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife off after getting our daughter to cut her hair off, even after being told not to? My wife is currently battling cancer, and one of the things she's told me she's struggling with most was losing her hair. She's been given a near 100% chance of survival since we caught it early, but the chemotherapy has destroyed her hair anyways, and she had to shave off what was left of it a few weeks ago. She suggested we attempt to get our 17-year-old daughter Anna to do so as well. Anna has very long hair that's too long, so I felt like it was appropriate to ask her to prove if she wanted to / would be willing to do such a thing. She told me that she didn't want to cut her hair, and I figured that was the end of it. However, yesterday they came home from a girls' shopping trip, something we do very often, and Anna had a buzzed haircut. That struck me as odd after what she'd said, so after dinner I talked to her and she told me that my wife had said she would never forgive Anna if she didn't show her support by lifting her head. That is beautiful. I asked her if she was happy about it, and she said that she was. When I went to bed, I brought it up with my wife, and she said it was Anna's choice too or not, and I just told her how I see the situation. I told her off, saying she needed to respect Anna's personal choices, and that a 17-year-old being against shaving her head wasn't exactly out of the ordinary. However, my wife simply said it was to show support for her. I've been speaking on the couch since. I love my wife and understand that she's going through something traumatic. However, her attitude comes off as very manipulative to me, and that's not a behavior I feel I can personally accept. I'm not sure if I can move past this to continue the relationship. That's like abusive. That's like emotionally abusive to be like, do this or I won't like you anymore. Especially coming from a parental figure. That is so absolutely terrible. horrible. Get rid of your wife or get...
First, place the tyramine in the apparatus.
350 calories, 69 grams of sugar, and only 3 grams of protein.
Slowly
Get rid
apply
of your
heat
wife or
to
get her in
steep the
therapy. That is
tyramine.
never okay. Like, what does that actually do for her? Oh, I lost my hair. It's so hard for me. Oh, I'm gonna make my daughter cut her hair too. That'll make me feel better. What does that say about the wife? Not the a-hole. Your wife is a flaming a-hole. I'm sorry that she has cancer, but what she did to your daughter was very abusive. If she's unable to deal mentally with her disease and treatment, then she needs professional help. Not to manipulate and coerce your daughter into making a choice that she didn't want to make. Make no mistake, she abused your daughter.
Needs more
There it
heat.
is. Get rid of the whole wife. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that the name she chose for her son was not our grandpa's actual name, but the nickname
Too
he
hot.
hated? My
Reduce
sister
the
wanted
heat.
to honor our late grandpa in her son's name and
looks
chose to
nicely
call her son
steamed.
Bobby, which
Next,
is what pretty
place
much
the hot
everyone
fruit
called our
in the
grandpa.
apparatus.
She mentioned the name being
Apply
so
heat
special because
to
it was his
liquefy the
beloved
hot
great-grandpa's name,
Again,
and that it
not
would be
too
so
hot.
special for our grandpa to have his name lived on. So here's the thing. Bobby was my grandpa's nickname, and he hated it. His actual name was Cyrus, which was grandpa's mom's maiden name. Grandpa was named that by her, and after she died and his dad remarried, they started calling him Bobby because his stepmother's dad was Robert. Grandpa always hated Bobby, but after years of people refusing to listen, he gave in. He had a handful of friends who called him Cyrus/Cy, but that was it. I told my sister this, and she was upset and asked why he hated Bobby. Bobby is so cute. I asked her how she'd feel to be named after her late parent and for his surviving parent and step-parent to then rename you after the step-parent side unofficially, but to the point where it sticks more than your actual name. She was glad at first, but after a few weeks she snapped and told me she doesn't like Cyrus, and I ruined the name Bobby for her. Edit, her baby was not born and is still not born, so I wanted her to know before he was here. Oh, well, I think there's an argument for them to be the a-hole if the baby was already born, but I don't think there's an argument if the baby isn't born yet. Definitely is not the a-hole, plus Cyrus is so cute, and if she wanted to honor him, why name her son something that doesn't actually honor her grandpa? If the sister's whole point was to honor the grandpa, wouldn't she want to know this so that she wasn't naming the kid after a name that he didn't like? I think Cyrus is a cute name. Like, it's not like a generic one. Cyrus is cool. Bobby is lame. The kid got a cooler name, and they're actually honoring the grandpa. Yeah, not the a-hole. I'm gonna go with that. It makes it sound like she's honoring his stepmother's dad, not their grandpa. Ooh, that's a really good point. It seems weird to me that the grandpa didn't, like, tell them. Like, it's one thing if, like, the family that you might not like is calling you this against your will, but then, like, when you raise your own family and you control that, and they're like, hey, call me Cyrus, not Bobby, you know? Or, like, with the grandma, like, why didn't he tell the grandma, oh, I prefer Cyrus over Bobby because that's, like, my real name? Am I the a-hole for leaving my boyfriend at a bar because of a joke he made? I, 22 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 23 male, for about 9 months now. I am Asian and grew up in my home country pretty much all my life until I was 19, and went abroad to a European country to...
Oh, look.
My boyfriend is from this country I'm currently studying in. He has shown interest in my background a bit, and I honestly like talking to him about it. I never questioned anything about our relationship until last night when we went to a bar with some of his friends. One of his friends asked if my boyfriend was trying to learn my native language, and we told him no. My boyfriend went on to joke about how my language sounded too rough and weird for him to even try. I gave him a confused look, and he said that he would have if it were more like Japanese or Korean. I was completely silent after that and made up some excuse and left. It wasn't subtle at all, but I didn't care at the time and felt like crying. He's been blowing up my phone with messages and calls, and all the messages say is that I overreacted and embarrassed him in public. I haven't replied or picked up any of his calls. I am in no way saying that he must learn my native language, but the way he explained it hurt me. Now I'm wondering if I really did overreact and I'm looking too deep into it, so am I the a-hole? No, I don't think so. Here's the thing, I don't think she reacted correctly. You can't expect somebody who experienced, like, borderline racism, not borderline, racism from somebody that they're dating to have a rational reaction to what just happened. Could she have sat there and, like, communicated why she was upset?
Deastress
Of course,
Zone,
that should
Help
come
W
after.
Training
If he had
Camp
blown
will
up her
share.
phone, being like, I'm so sorry I said that.
Genwobar
That was over the line.
529,
Maybe she's an
Zone,
a-hole. She's
Centurions
like, I
Rise
don't
Up.
want to talk it out with my boyfriend. But because of how this person doesn't even realize, like, how messed up, how racist it is to say something like that, and to, like, turn it on them is just big no. Big red flag. He's 100% the a-hole. He changes opinions to impress his friends. Experience many times it sucks. Well, I wonder if this is actually how he felt. Or, like, if he doesn't realize realize like how messed up it is to like make fun of someone's home language. I wish she would have explained like what is her. She just says that she's Asian. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm gonna be real honest. Like, I'm half Japanese. Like, I've heard Japanese,
Chaotic
Korean,
Fiend,
Chinese.
Zone
And
X.
not gonna lie, they all sound a little similar to me. Like, I can't really tell the difference. Like, the fact that he's like, oh, it sounds too rough. It's like, what? Like, what a weird bone to pick. Not like, oh, it's too complicated or I'm not smart enough. Like, oh, it sounds too rough. I don't think she should be with that guy, especially if he can't recognize that what he did was
Major
like, messed
Ghost
up.
King,
Not the
Zone
he called
X.
your language rough and weird. How is that a joke? A lot of languages can be
I
considered
800 rent a
rough.
god,
Yes, not
Zone
disagreeing with you
X
there,
for
but you
Cam.
don't say that at your significant other's expense. It's a joke. Calling out her language like that was rude. No a-holes here.
That's Monopoly. Go! Kiki! Ready, Tycoon? It's go time. Cash grab!
Kiki, I won again?
Daddy will be back soon.
Please make us look rich.
Yes, they're top hats.
No a-holes here. Oh, I am from the Balkans and I can count how many times people told me my language sounds rough. Like I'm fighting all the time. I talk to my mom and my boyfriend asked me, why did you fight? What happened? Or, oh no, did something bad happen? I am like, we didn't fight. I literally told her I love her, LOL, but that's just how it sounds to people. I see it as normal. I'm gonna stick with not the a-hole. I think not no a-holes here doesn't really fit. Would I be the a-hole for uninviting anyone who attended a winery day from my bridal shower and possibly wedding? My fiance, 32 male, and I, 30 female, are getting married in a few months. We have been dating for 2 years. When we first started dating, his sister, 25 female, and I got along great. But when I asked her to be a bridesmaid, she turned me down. I assume because she would not be the center of attention. Everything spiraled from there, and now we are pretty much non-contact with her. She's a brat, truth be told, and it created a ton of unnecessary drama. Some highlights were showing up with no gift to our engagement party and not saying a word to us. She ran into my brother in public and was extremely rude to him. Her and her boyfriend denied this happened and called my brother a liar. Now she's no longer invited to the wedding. This summer, we made an effort to see other members of his family, so we've been spending our weekends meeting up for dinner with different members of his family. Naturally, the issues with his sister come up. I chose not to hold back and told them exactly what she did. I thought they should know how toxic she is and decide for themselves if they want her in their lives. Yesterday, I saw on Instagram one of my fiance's cousins posted a bunch of pictures from a girls' wine day. All his female aunts and cousins were there, and of course his sister was there. I was so hurt that they wouldn't even invite me. It felt like the pictures were posted specifically to make me feel bad and show that they took her side. I'm supposed to be marrying into this family in a few months, and they completely left me out. I reached out to one of his aunts I thought I was close to and asked if my fiance's sister planned this. She said no, it was another aunt. When I asked why I wasn't invited, she said it was because of the drama between me and fiance's sister. They didn't want the day to be uncomfortable, so chose to keep it to just family, which hurt to hear that they don't consider me family. I asked her if that meant that they all took her side. She claimed no one was taking sides, and if I chose to take it that way, it was up to me. I ended the phone call very upset. My bridal shower is in a few weeks, and I don't want any of them there. It's for friends and family, and obviously they don't consider me family, so they don't need to be there. I want no drama at my shower and only people who are happy for me and love me there. I'm debating if I want them at the wedding, but I will deal with that later. I have a mass email written up, ready to send, disinviting them from my shower. My fiance is fine with it. He can't stand his sister and is angry with his family. My maid of honor is trying to talk me out of sending it, saying it will ruin my relationship with his family and my wedding and upset my mother-in-law, but I think it's already ruined. I'm kind of leaning towards you're the a-hole here. Yes, you're supposed to be joining the family, but you're basically telling them you want them to pick her over their, like, actual family. I'm just picking up a really big sense of entitlement in here. It's basically he said, she said, and she's expecting them to take her side, trying to create this dissonance or this break between family members when you're just joining the family seems like an a-hole move to me. It felt like all the pictures were posted specifically to make me feel bad and show that they took her side. Probably not. Like, they probably just were like, oh, hey, let me show my fun time. It would be an a-hole move for you to uninvite everybody, cause unnecessary drama. Like, I think you just gotta be the big person here. Clearly, you don't like the fiance's sister, but, like, it seems like you're trying to break up the family. Yeah, she's a brat, but just, like, get over it, you know? What did she do? Hold on, let me read this. Some highlights were showing up with no gift to our engagement party. I'm gonna chalk that up to stupidity, or maybe she's gross. She ran into my brother in public and was extremely rude to him. Her and her boyfriend denied this happening and called my brother a liar. Sure, that's, like, not great, but it's not the end of the world. Like, maybe the family doesn't like this girl, and this sister is the only one to step up to it. She seems to think she's better than the sister in every way possible and is trying to justify it with poor excuses. Yeah, and she's also putting, like, all the people she wants to uninvite to the wedding, she's putting them in a tough situation. I chose not to hold back and told them exactly what she did. I thought they should know how toxic she is. It's one thing if it's, like, she's doing drugs and stealing money and cheating on all of her significant others, but it literally just sounds like she lied one time and was rude and didn't bring a gift. You're the a-hole. Drama is constantly following you around, and I bet it is. You are the source of it. You cannot have a relationship with your future sister-in-law. You cannot, however, demand that everyone do the same. Am I the a-hole for refusing to switch seats with a kid on an 8-hour flight? This was my second 8-hour flight on my way home from Africa via Dubai. I had booked an aisle seat so I could get up without bothering others, and a special meal due to health requirements. I boarded the plane, found my seat, and settled in. A family gets on with 3 kids. They don't speak much English and asks if I could switch seats with one of their kids so they can be together. The father of the family wasn't sat anywhere near the mother and kids, so it looked to me like they had left their seats to random assignment. I initially said yes, thinking it was just a move across the aisle, but then realized they wanted me to switch to sit in a middle seat, and I said no. Another passenger then gets up and says he has a seat in the back that I can move to, and I said no. I said that I had booked my seat and ordered a dietary meal, and there was no way I was going to move to a middle seat. He then starts loudly criticizing me and saying he hopes I understand that I'm splitting the family up.
Red licorice or black licorice? I see what's going on now. Oh, you think bad licorice? Only those who experience licorice.com have
Oh dear. Alright.
And there was no way I was going to move to a middle seat. He then starts loudly criticizing me and saying he hopes I understand that I'm splitting a family up. You're destroying this family by not sitting somewhere else on an airplane. This eventually attracts attention from the crew because it's holding up boarding. They got a passenger on the other end of the row to switch and sit somewhere else so their kids could sit together. The other passenger from before then starts loudly saying to his kids and family, "Do you understand what happened? She thought her seat was too special, so she wouldn't let you sit together." I told the guy to mind his own business, and he responded that he wasn't talking to me. I was exhausted and sleep deprived by this point and told him to stop talking about me. I didn't think I was in the wrong here. I organized myself beforehand and booked my seat. Not the a-hole at all. I don't think it's that big of a deal if kids sit by themselves on an airplane. Like, if anything, it's probably a good thing because if 3 kids are right next to each other without their parents close by, those kids are going to be annoying. Normalize splitting up kids. Normalize not having kids on planes at all. I don't think they did anything wrong. Like, you don't owe anybody anything. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law that the grudge she's been holding against me over wedding photos is stupid? I, female 20, have an older brother, male 34, Tim. Tim has a wife, Vicky, female 33. For a while now, I've noticed Vicky has been acting weird around me. She avoids interacting with me, avoids eye contact, and doesn't make conversation, and generally seems annoyed with my presence. I wasn't really sure what her problem was. It was starting to get to me, so I gently as possible asked Tim about it. He confirmed Vicky was angry at me over something. He explained that a while ago, my mother posted some old photos from his and Vicky's wedding on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook, so I didn't know. And that she used a filter or photo editor that made my dress look white when it was actually pastel blue. Later, Tim, Vicky, and me were alone, and Tim brought this issue up and said that it needs to be talked about. Vicky started to become visibly upset, and she pretty much repeated what Tim told me and said that the edited photos were disrespectful. Somehow this makes sense that they use Facebook. This is something that only consistent Facebook users would get upset about because it's so unbelievably stupid how it doesn't make sense. And that I really shouldn't have worn a color that was so close to white anyways. I reminded Vicky that I was 9 years old when they got married. And don't even remember much
Tasty's
from it.
Trading Company, TH33 of 1LD34D, in-game.
I don't remember, and that if it bothers her so much, she should take it up with my mom. And I told her that this grudge she's holding against me is stupid. Vicky looked mortified and said that I didn't have to be so
Tasty's Trading Company, no empathy TTV, sweet.
Tim is now also
LOL.
mad because I disrespected his wife. No, OP is just pointing out how stupid your wife is. Let me get this straight. So this was 11 years ago. So she's really getting this bitter over 11 years ago? Over an edited photo that they couldn't control? A 9-year-old's decision. Do people have nothing better to do? Like, genuinely, bro, pick up a hobby, start gardening, get a cat, go to the gym. If you have time to get mad over something a 9-year-old did, be better. Am I the a-hole for not sharing my inheritance with the rest of my family? My family situation is messy. I, 25 female, was engaged 4 years ago to my high school sweetheart. My fiance cheated on me with my sister. What a hot start. Oh my god. We had never had a good relationship even as kids, so after I found out, I went scorched earth on both of them. She was so in love with my fiance, but he dumped her within 2 weeks. I like that. We love that. We love the karma. And he was back trying to get me to forgive him. I didn't. My parents were initially on my side, night, but my sister had a nervous breakdown after she was dumped and was hospitalized, so they changed her tune to "It's over now and you can't be mad forever." No, that is a mad forever type of situation, if I've ever heard one before. So I dumped them too and went to grad school on the other side of the country. My grandfather was livid with the whole thing, disowned my sister and chewed out my parents. Sometimes it felt like he was the only one who was on my side, and I understood. I was able to get my job to let me work remotely and moved back to take care of him when he got sick last fall, and I was devastated when he passed a couple of months ago. I had been in limited contact with my parents since I came back, mostly because I didn't want to be an obstacle to my dad seeing my grandfather, but with the understanding that any discussion of my sister or what happened would end that. It turns out that my grandfather left me virtually everything. He left enough for my father to cover a debt and some token stuff for a couple of other relatives, but he wrote letters for everyone and did a videotape with his attorney explaining what his intentions were. I knew that he had done well for himself, but he lived a pretty simple lifestyle, so I didn't realize how much money and assets he really had. I'll give it all this to have my papa back, but he can't get taxes since was set for life. Money. My parents were sad about it. One of the reasons stated for cutting them out was how disappointed my grandfather was with how they had treated me growing up versus my sister and over the fiance debacle. There were other reasons, but that's what they're fixated on. The will is pretty airtight apparently, so my parents want me to do the right thing and share it equally between me, them, and their sister. Their argument is that I don't need it. I make more than both of them combined. This would allow them to retire. My sister is not doing great and can't hold a job. This would ensure she has something for when my parents pass. I don't want to. My grandfather's wishes were crystal clear, and also, I kind of don't feel like doing more than the minimum for any of them. They've been telling me that I'm being vindictive because of a mistake years ago. I can't deny there might be a little vindictiveness there. I don't want them to suffer necessarily, but I also don't feel like they deserve my help. That's probably one of the easiest not be able I've ever seen. I don't think there's anything to argue here. You don't owe the parents anything. You don't owe the sister anything. All that money was left for you. Sister should have been so crappy. Parents shouldn't have sided with the sister. Maybe the parents, but sister? Nah. If that sister is willing to do something so terrible to you, let her suffer. She can't hold a job, that's her problem. Am I the a-hole for making my son cook for his sister, even if it means cooking at midnight and waking him up? My daughter is 21, gets off work at 4 a.m. She usually stays up until lunchtime and then sleeps until she goes to work. She works night shift. My son is 17 and still in high school. I'm at work when she is sleeping, but my son was home for the summer and he would wake her up to make him food. He would pester her until she did it so she could go back to sleep. It came to a head a month ago where my daughter lost it and I finally learned about it. And as his punishment, he has to make my daughter food when she...
Shop Etsy for special birthday gifts, like custom style pieces to celebrate dog people. This is perfect. Thanks.
His punishment, he has to make my daughter food when she asked for it at any time, the same amount she did for him. So it was about 30 times he woke her up, so he has to make her 30 meals. Everyone agreed, though my son wasn't happy and picked it over losing his phone for a month. So my daughter will wake him up to make her food. She still has 15 meals left. He hates it, but it gets the point across. Now school started and he got woken up last night to make her food. So this morning he was tired as all hell. He went to his grandparents and I got in a huge argument with my mom. She thinks I'm an a-hole, but the punishment fits the crime. My son won't talk to me and I'm questioning myself, even though my husband is backing up the punishment. This is great parenting. It's literally 14 days now out of 185 school days. He won't fail school. That's extremely dramatic for 2 weeks of being tired. 100% not the a-hole. I think this is great parenting. I think it would have been so much worse if the OP had just taken away the phone for a month. What are you going to learn from that? This is fuck around and find out. The 17-year-old son sounds awful too. Like, if you have to wake up somebody else to make you food and you're 17 years old, figure it out, bro. Go get a packet of ramen. Like, what kind of 17-year-old can figure this out? Like, what a bummy 17-year-old, bro. Absolutely not the a-hole. If I woke up my sister and told her to make me food, I would have gotten worse things to worry about. Yeah, bro, my sisters would have destroyed me, bro. Am I the a-hole? I told my daughter not to bother applying for college. I am 35 female, and I have a 16-year-old daughter. My daughter has a late birthday, early mid-December, so she's going into her senior year of high school. She's a very smart girl, and I'm proud of what she's accomplished, but she's also young and naive in a lot of ways. She's easily manipulated. She doesn't pay much attention to her surroundings. She can't stand up for herself. She constantly still calls or texts myself and her father for help with things.
This might be where we leave it for tonight, guys.
I've also been concerned about her doing dangerous things or submitting to peer pressure from her friends. I've met them and they are not good kids. I've told her to stop talking to them, but she refuses and tries to go behind my back. For these reasons, among others, her father and I have decided that we are not going to let her go off to college as long as she's a minor under our care. This means that she won't be going in fall 2024 because she doesn't turn 18 until that December. I'm not trying to stifle her, but I do want her to be safe. She was recently talking about starting to fill out college applications and I told her not to bother. I explained that we weren't letting her go until she's old enough to make that decision for herself. herself. She started crying and yelling at me, but I refused to budge. I don't think I'm being unreasonable, and honestly, her reaction is more evidence of immaturity. But apparently, she texted her aunt, who has been calling me an a-hole. And two people seem to think that I will not allow her to go to a college at all. I am absolutely willing to let her go to college since she's 18, and we will pay for it. Wherever she wants to go, we have the means. Even if what you're saying is, like, valid, like if your kid is immature and maybe doesn't belong at college, the reason for that is because of you. Literally, part of college is like being away from your parents and figuring it out for yourself. Like, you can't shelter your kid, or honestly, they're gonna get to college and fall apart. And it sounds like you probably shelter the hell out of this kid. This kind of stuff, like she's easily manipulated, she has bad friends, like you kind of just have to learn that on your own. Whether that happens in high school or in college, there were so many people I hung out with in college that I stopped hanging out with because I was like, ooh, you guys are kind of bums. You just have to trust in yourself that you've taught your kids enough to know how to identify stuff like that. Definitely the a-hole here. I'm 25. I called my mom the other day for some help on cooking like potatoes. That's like cool. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna call my mom forever and ask her anything and everything. It's way better to let the kid make the choices and value your opinion, and this is only devaluing your opinion. My mom is an influencer and I hate her for it. My mom, female 45, has become a Facebook influencer. I, female 16, used to not care when she took photos, but it's gotten crazy. Everything she does is now posted or live streamed online. Even if someone says don't photograph or film, she'll find a way to film it. It was annoying at first, but now it's downright frustrating, especially since 3 months ago.
Alright, you guys. I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys for coming and watching, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. With that, I will be seeing you guys, like I said, tomorrow. Have a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye.